Hello and welcome to the Party Dungeon. This is Dungeon Party. As always, I'm your Splitgate sponsor, DM Blake. And here's your cast. How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
God, I hope they can hear me.
Hope they can't see the map tool.
They can't.
Good.
Did you just draw a dick? You draw a dick on the map tool? All right.
Uh-oh.
Is this how you treat somebody who's been featured in a social media post by the video game Splitgate? Come on, guys. Show some respect to the king here.
Is this a Splitgate themed campaign now?
Yeah, I think it has to be. Well, I mean, you guys already have a portal gun, so
We do have
it kind of
portals.
is already.
Next combat session is shoddy snipers.
We're gonna play... Fuck Blast Blow. We're playing Split Ball.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Feeling good?
No.
Feeling ready? Yeah, you said you had fast food tummy.
My stomach's not feeling good.
Wendy's came back for revenge.
No, it was the Colonel.
Ah, Mr. Sanders.
He'll do it to you.
I was like, I haven't had it in like a year. This'll be good. And then I had it and I was like,
Your
it's not
tolerance was...
gonna be another year before I revisit the Colonel again.
Yeah, okay. Well, I actually don't have any announcements, I don't think. Oh, I do have one announcement. September's almost over, gang. We're pretty close to me having to dye my hair. That's 150 subs, so if you want me to dye my hair, you know how to make it happen.
What color?
You get to pick. Collectively.
Anything but ninja color, he
You
said.
can't dye it ninja color, and if I'm thinking like one color because I still do have a job that I need to go to. But that's stuff that can be discussed if the goal is reached. So we're less than 50 away. That's my announcement. Yeah, I do own a hair, actually. Does anybody else have any announcements or bits that they'd like to do?
It's not a bit. This is
It's a segment.
a series.
I'm sorry. It's your segment.
This is alright. How does this start? It's time for another round of What's Chelsea Playing? Blah, 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 blam. Yeah. Guys, this week was a great week for my gaming corner. I played 2 new games, well, new to me, that the real fans, the real followers will probably know what they are. And they are very similar, but so beautiful. The first one being Skatebird.
Woo! Skateboard!
And if you thought the concept was dumb, the game is so much dumber.
Hell yeah.
Second one, very similar to Skatebird, is God of War.
Yeah.
I did it. Ooh, I could only make it through like 2 hours of it before going, this is heavy.
Yeah.
It's not just me being a god.
The first 3 God of War games are about you killing the world, so like they really had to start from there.
It is very good though. I did, because I know y'all are really interested, I did choose give me a story mode.
Fair enough.
Because I can't be emotionally invested and be sad about my own skills. So, how are these similar? So, in God of War, spoiler alert, you are a father looking out for his boy.
Boy!
My favorite line so far, don't be sorry, be better. And I'm gonna come to my classes next week in a fucking shirt that says that.
No crying in baseball, son.
And then in Skatebird, you are a little bird looking out for your big friend. Similarities, my friends.
It's like the inverse.
Are they made by the same people? Because that sounds like
Yes.
really...
No. My favorite was when I opened up, when I went click boop bought Skatebird, on that news feed or whatever it's called in Steam. The first thing it says is, "Hey, we know the camera sucks right now. We're working on it. We are a small company."
Well, that's
That
nice.
is cool. It's really fun. It's really fun because when my favorite feature is that when you bail, and you bail a lot, because the controls are, you have the option to just roll around on the floor for a while until you pop back up, and I love that as an option.
It's true to life.
That's it. And so God of War will probably be my game for the next few episodes.
Only the
Just
future
be
us
prepared.
can know. Steve. Thank you, Chelsea.
You're
A
welcome.
beloved segment as always. Does anyone else have anything they wanna to
If
say?
anybody has any tips for God of War,
Boy.
I'm in it. I'm getting it. But I just got to the first, like, where you can upgrade and buy things, and now I am overwhelmed.
I only play games where I can do a gay romance, so.
Oh, okay.
So Skatebird then.
Skatebird.
Yeah, Skatebird. Oh my gosh. Literally.
I did install Skatebird, but I haven't played it yet.
The last game I played that had, like, upgrade options was Spider-Man, but it was like, you get your backpack tokens to upgrade your web shooters. This is like, you need your Nilfdeer amulet gar to upgrade your Furbedergurdager hacks. So, just in wording alone, it's not as straightforward.
I only played the original God of War trilogy, which was just like fully different style of game, so I can't
Yeah.
offer any advice, unfortunately.
It's okay.
but-
I have already watched every single 10 things I wish I knew before playing God of War that
Fair enough,
exists
yeah.
on YouTube.
Well, I'll look forward to hearing more about it. Does anybody else have a segment?
I have a question actually for this gamer gang, and because we're discussing upgrades in games, I on Friday, of course, there was the announcement for Bayonetta 3, and I know a lot of people here were pretty hype. So I picked up I went back and picked up 1 again and started playing. And I'm not sure if I'm terrible or if the upgrades are a joke, because I have literally never been able to afford an upgrade at the end of a level. So either I'm like the worst Bayonetta player ever, or all the upgrades are just like comedically expensive.
No, you're supposed to replay Bayonetta is how those upgrades work. You're supposed to just keep going up.
I
You're
was
supposed to
gonna
keep going
say.
up and up on the difficulty scale, because you keep unlocking difficulties as you go, and every time you clear, you unlock new weapons in the shop too, new characters. So you're meant to just sit there and play Bayonetta over and over again.
I was gonna say, I was like, are these a joke? I've never had anywhere near that amount of money.
Ricky,
Greenfield's
thank
just
you.
being nice, you're just bad.
Yeah.
Peeves, that I believe that I'm just terrible at the game. I'm not very good at video games.
Ricky, thank you for the tier 3 subs, 16 months, and I won't forget you guys when I'm famous, because I mean, I'm already famous. I was featured in a Splitgate promotional material, so.
True.
How much higher up can you get than that? Got a whole 1 more Twitter follower from it too. So.
Was it Splitgate?
No, they didn't follow me. They're following us on Twitch though. So, anything else from anybody? Any announcements? Any gripes? Any qualms? Any blessings? Any curses? Okay, let's play D&D.
Uh,
Oh.
no,
go for it.
You said curses, and I remembered a curse thing I saw this morning when I was in Times Square doing work.
What was
But
it?
it's gross.
No, never mind.
It's
I'm
gross.
sure there'll be many curses throughout this
Let's
session.
just say it involved a minion dressed up in a hula skirt and a woman having fun.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that, actually. That's a bummer. I don't know if I need to ever hear more about that one.
It's a bad time right there.
All right. So last time on Bright Futures, the crew were in the Underdark, and you've been there for a little while. As you left the well-protected district of Dual Norse and made your way into, or no, it was Zilhind. Dual Norse was the other thing. The district of Zilhind, made your way into the wilds of the Underdark. You were set upon by a roper and a bunch of piercers, which weren't too much of a threat, but what did end up being a threat was an unseen assailant from a huge distance away, shooting arrows that turned into creatures at you. Almost killing 2 members of Sunhammer, a group you were traveling with, before you managed to get away. The next few days of travel were uneventful. Something tried to lure Una and Tether to their deaths, but they wisely didn't follow. And then a while later, a couple days after that, you found yourself at one of the large crystal mirror stations that helps the Kingdom of Kovdek keep track of time. It had been tampered with by none other than whoever was shooting arrows at you before. Left an arrow there which shattered into a large solar salamander, which, and through a series of in-game and out-of-game errors, one of your carts was destroyed. Shanti didn't die, but came close to it. And once the dust cleared and the salamander was dead, one of the members of Sunhammer, Deviel, turned to Rubidarth, a Carthian spice merchant in your caravan, and said, "Countess, I think it's time we told them." We'll pick up right from that moment, gang.
And to character.
Yeah.
What?
You know how Una does.
That's how she would react, right? Oh, wait.
What? I feel like Septon actually could drop a in character.
So sorry, teeny tiny.
Well, then why
tangent.
haven't you?
Phoenix and I watched School of Rock last night, and Miranda Cosgrove's character is Una. Every single thing she did. Except that
That doesn't feel very Una.
Yeah, except that part. That literally happened. Phoenix was like, Una, and I went, Una would never willingly sing.
I feel like Una would secretly be way into cats.
And Septon is Jack Black.
Septon would be openly into cats.
Shandi is Lawrence.
I read that fanfic.
No.
Septon would be played as
coming.
Septon would be played as Jack Black, as Bowser, as
Septon. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We've immediately derailed.
Yeah, I mean, when do we not? But Rubidarth has turned, or it wasn't. Deviel's turned to Rubidarth and said, "Countess, it's time that we tell them." To this, Tyr is going to say, "Deviel, know your place." And Deviel's going to say, "We've put them in this much danger, and I think the appearance of a solar salamander practically confirms whoever it is here for her." Rubidarth is just sort of looking around. Sighs. Says, "Yes, well, I suppose it is time to come clean." Not the accent you're familiar with her having. She begins to unwrap... I'm not gonna read that. She begins to unwrap her neck scarf. And on her neck, you can see something familiar, though not exactly the same. She has neck tattoos. Another person you've met with neck tattoos being the potion guy, who is a disgraced former noble of Salos. These aren't the same tattoos, but they are neck tattoos. There's no lines through them like there are on him, though. What are we giggling about? What's happening?
Nothing.
Guys are the worst. I do apologize for the ruse, but we felt it would be in everyone's best interest should my identity not be revealed. I am, in truth, Countess Clarissa du Chamanteau, a Selosian noble, here on, well, a bit of a secret mission, one that I'm afraid must have been found out. It's a bit...
Clarissa du Shop Dinero?
Yeah, one more time.
Clarissa du Chamanteau. And I can spell that for you later if you want. Or I could do it now. I don't know. What do you prefer?
As long as I, like, type it
How
up.
many apostrophes we got in there?
0 apostrophes.
Nah, do apostrophe Chamanteau.
There are no apostrophes in Salos.
Oh, right, it's Selosian,
Peeps
so that'd
has
be
it. If you look...
EUA.
Yeah, if you look at it in chat there, Peeps.
Or EAU.
It is.
Shaman. Oh, shaman, not shaman.
Chamanteau.
Nice.
Yeah, that my first spelling was closer to shamanto.
Phoenix hasn't said a word in this voice call, but he's chatting in chat, which is a
What
problem.
else is new?
We're gonna talk about you, Phoenix. You're playing D&D with us. Whatever. If I had to wager a guess, this assassin is after me because of my support for Eris Rousseau. I'm concerned that anyone would know this, as I've never announced my support publicly. So I wonder how the assassin knows of this support and knows that I'm here. I left on a boat to sail to Karth for a vacation, and secretly embarked to Zymor undercover to meet with an exiled dissident and old family friend. The only people who knew of this plan were those involved in Eris Rousseau's support, and those in the group were said to have been vetted thoroughly, but I suppose they weren't. I worry for the safety of the others in the group as well as my contact in Zymor, but there's very little I can do about that now. I apologize for the inconvenience that this has wrought, and the danger that I'm afraid I've put you in. I thought I'd taken every precaution.
So, you, were doing a dangerous thing and didn't tell anyone, and so you brought danger to everyone because you didn't tell anyone?
No, I prevented more danger by... Had I made my trip public, then it would have been far more dangerous, I'd imagine. Multiple assassins, though I suppose I don't know if that's the case or not.
So do you know who specifically is attacking us, or...?
I do not.
Any leads? Any
Well...
people you pissed off lately? Any feuds in the family?
And who is
You said
Eris
something about it.
Rousseau?
Yes.
She sounds really amazing. I'm just kidding.
Long-standing blood feuds that go back centuries in your family line?
It's no wonder you wouldn't know, being from Zymor. I doubt the news of Salos reaches your ears too often, but there is an individual who, as of late, has made a claim to the throne of the Empress. She claims to be of a bloodline that dates back to the original ruling family of Salos. But the current regime doesn't much approve. I've looked into it thoroughly, and I've met this Deirdre Rousseau myself, and I believe her. She has my support, but as a landed member of the nobility, this isn't something I can publicly speak on. Not until, well, the danger of doing so has passed. Fortunately, I'm afraid someone must have found out. I don't have many enemies otherwise. I do as the other nobility do. I throw my parties. I give my gifts. I pay my dues. So unless an assassin from Salos would be targeting one of you, this is the only reason that I can think of.
I have a couple questions.
Please, feel free to ask.
First one, and I think it's the most important one. Salos is...
It is the motherland of civilization. The country from which the modern world sprang forth.
And it's where?
It's where we're
I
going.
point on a map.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Yeah,
where we're going. It was just a library.
It's a menu map.
I heard library and didn't listen to where else we were going.
Is there any
What do
other...
you think, Churn?
I think this changes nothing.
Oh, also another question. The whole, like, ruling thing.
Yes.
This is something I've been thinking about for a while. Why does it matter
Well, it's a sacred...
what blood you have?
Well, the blood of the original ruling family of the Soleils, they were descended from Pelor himself.
Heather, if I know anything about history, that question has gotten, like, countless people killed.
The current ruling family, the Santillo, were the closest advisor of the Soleils. Well, before the assassins that your country is named after destroyed the original bloodline. So to return to that bloodline, well, that would be Pelor's will, as far as I can see it.
I guess.
Well,
So...
I actually agree with Turn. I mean, we had a mission to get everybody safely to a location, and, like, it got harder and there was unforeseen things because, I mean, and I turned to the group, this just always happens. But, yeah, no, I think our mission hasn't changed.
You say you actually
Oh,
agree with Tarn. What do you mean, actually?
I mean, there's, like, nothing to add, right? You said it. This doesn't change anything. Normally I'd have, like, oh, but what about this? Now I'm just like, no, Turn's right.
Well, no, it gives us one more thing to worry about.
Agile Mass chimes in. I mean, if you think about it, we're gonna worry about it anyway. We just now know why.
Ah.
Yes, we've been worrying about it since the first attack.
That's why he's the teacher, and we're the heroes in training.
Yeah. And he goes back over to the wreckage of a cart. Starts.
All right, teach. See you later. Good luck
Thank
with
God
those
I did not bring the
building blocks.
plushies on this journey.
How are we gonna transport can we fit everybody in one wagon?
It'll be a tight fit. You could, because there's the 2 levels. You'll all just have to pack in.
Thinking I could just, like, stick my arms and legs through, like the sticks connecting the 4 wheels, and so I can just be underneath. That could save some room.
Would that be comfortable?
Sleeping's never comfortable. Am I right? No?
Ren Ironcard chimes in. Ah, yeah, you're right. Bones crack as she points at you. I I don't expect you to treat me any differently now that you know of my noble blood. But I hope it is helpful in combating this assassin.
Is noble blood a different color? Because then I might be noble, because mine's white.
Oh, I don't think you are.
With all due respect, ma'am, I don't see how it's going to help us combat this assailant.
I'm not used to these things, these fights, this life of combat. It's one that's unfamiliar to me, so I didn't know if that helped in any way.
If we were in a city, we could ask around about, have you seen anyone from this? Have you seen any Solosians? Or, like, have you run into anyone who can summon animals with arrows? But out here, all we can do is fight them off for a while.
Yeah, and in a larger crowd, we might be like, oh, someone in your camp told someone about it. We have a double agent. But there's only like 3 of your people here. And if maybe one of them's a double agent, I don't know. But I don't think so.
They all look at their arrow wounds.
Yeah,
I
don't think so.
We're guards of the Chamanteau family. We would never betray her.
You'd be really committed to the bit to have to get those.
That's exactly what a double agent would say.
If you'd like to vet us, you can.
Ooh, what's vetting?
I don't see
Alright.
how we would vet you. We know nothing about you.
Oh, don't worry. Tether and I will vet the guards. I think.
Does it involve mud?
Oh, it absolutely involves mud.
Start looking at each other.
Alright, hold on. I no longer agree with Turn. See, this is
I've
why
been
I said
vetted every day.
Turn,
All right, I don't need agreement. I just need mud.
This is why I
Tether,
said actually
mud me.
earlier.
There's not soil.
Stone pretty much everywhere.
I feel like we shouldn't do this, guys.
I already started
Maybe
shape watering my
not
water
to.
flask and be like,
I feel like the longer we're standing around not moving is a bad thing, seeing as we just triggered a trap meant for us by whoever's following us. I feel like probably motion.
Right,
Way to
good
go.
idea. You go rebuild the cart. We'll vet the guards. We'll meet up when we're done and get going.
Yeah, we're not rebuilding this cart.
How many times would I have to cast mending?
It would take a while. I mean, a lot of the material is trapped under like a giant
don't-
shattered crystal.
I don't think mending would work at all here.
Do we still have to put back the crystal?
Let me
Wait,
look
where
at it.
the-
It's like a little bit shattered.
Ah.
I don't think that's something that we're gonna be able to do.
Wait, isn't there a kiosk where we're supposed to report it?
Yeah, the one guy who went over to report it, who's just like during this whole fight was just like staring at you guys, is like,
His friend got fucking disintegrated.
I want to report that.
so I'm gonna stay here. You guys have fun with the rest of your little thing. I'm gonna stay here, I think.
okay, if you see another giant shining lizard, let us know.
I don't think I'm gonna see it. I think that's gonna be. He's just mumbling to himself as he turns back to the kiosk.
You think they're gonna put another point on the ledger for this?
I
Gonna find a way to blame us?
No.
I mean, there'll be a point on the ledger one way or another. Might not be against us, but it'll be against, somebody from above. If this assassin is from Salos, then, I mean, it still counts.
It's true.
The ledger's been around for this long. I'm sure a couple extra points won't matter that much in the end.
The ledger's like the actual international.
Do we
debt
want to
thing,
get
it just doesn't matter.
Don't we want to get as much points as possible, like Blast Ball?
I actually think the ledger was modeled after Blast Ball.
So are we closer to winning?
With every day that passes.
Cut to fucking campaign 4 when the ledger is the main plot point. There's actually a couple extra here, got placed down 200 years ago by a bunch of idiots in a caravan.
I'm gonna cast glibness and just convince him it doesn't matter. The ledger's fake.
It was never real. Agile Mask is gonna grabbing what he can from the wreckage of the professor and say, "Well, I guess we're relegated down to one cart. We gotta keep moving. We got 2 Arachnirs, but 1 cart, so it's probably gonna add about a day to our travel here. Move to Krias. Once we're there, I'll see if I can get us another one. But
were there 2 for each cart, or 1 for each cart?
1 for each cart.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, best we can do is keep moving. I think we should do a guard shift, though. You guys look pretty worse for wear.
Except Shandi looks fine.
I mean, he
Perfectly
looks
healthy.
fine.
Just leaning up against the cart.
Just blood coating the ground around you.
Wait, did this occur right after the battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Am I
like
still hanging from the...
Yeah, I figured you probably found your way down. You got spider climb.
Okay.
Alright, I guess I'm driving. Great. And
Let me
he
check.
gets in the driver's seat.
I'm gonna check if my below cart solution has any weight.
Make an athletics check. You have to engage your muscles to hold yourself
No,
up.
I agree with this athletics check. What is my athletics? -1. Would be... Okay, cool. This is a 5.
You put your arms through and you immediately just like, ah! And your arm, like, your shoulder comes out of its socket.
Wait,
Being dragged.
I thought tether was
They didn't leave.
I thought tether was canonically sticky. I thought tether could like stick to surfaces.
It's just spider climb.
Oh, it's just a climbing speed thing.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
canonically it wasn't sticky. It was her fingers are slightly longer and they can bend in different ways, so they find cracks.
Yeah. Like vines.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Agile Mass didn't start the wagon with you under it.
Okay.
He also didn't stop you from doing this, but... yeah, everybody sort of fishes you out and can pop your shoulder back into socket.
Agile Mask is the ultimate substitute teacher.
He doesn't give a
He
shit.
like really doesn't care, just as long as nobody dies. Like,
Pretty much. But once you're all settled, he gets those Arachnirs going, and you, very cramped, make your way through. Sunhammer is now like sitting in a circle around the Countess.
Does anyone want to play Uno?
Desi says, "I'll play."
Anyone else?
Not today.
I don't think I know how to play Uno.
Oh, did I say
It's
Uno?
Go Fish, isn't it?
I meant Go Fish.
You did
Yeah.
say Uno.
I don't, you know.
Yeah, I'll play Go,
Go
Fish.
Fish.
I was gonna say, is Uno canon? Is Spanish canon?
I meant Go Fish. Retract everything
Actually,
I said.
I don't
pretty
have
worse
Uno.
for wear, so I'm
Yeah, I think I might need to short rest it
Yeah.
a little.
Well, I mean, you have time for a long rest if you want to take it.
Oh, then we're gonna take that.
We taking it, baby.
Because your shift is over, so you got the rest of the day and night.
Oh,
so.
it's fucking bedtime.
Cool. All right. Is there anything anybody wants to do before your next shift?
You know what? I feel like after that little stint in the Underdark, I think Septon might turn blue.
Oh.
Septon's just having a terrible time. He does not like it here.
Desi's gonna pester you with questions about being blue in the morning.
Do
Oh,
you
Septon like happily answers them.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you like at one point in the night just change blue, or is it like a slow fade?
I like to imagine that as Septon goes into a trance, during the duration of the trance, it's a slow fade.
Cool.
I think that makes the most sense.
I'd agree with that.
Although it is funny to imagine he opens his eyes and just...
Yeah.
No, I think during the duration of the trance, as he's like processing emotions or whatever the elves do during the trance, it slowly like changes color.
Okay. So what color? You were orange before. What does orange and blue make? What color were you in the middle? This is no
Orange
in no
and
way
blue
important.
is like brown.
Brown, yeah.
It's not a good. That's not a good color combo. Although, certain oranges and blues go together well.
Yeah, they go well. They go well together. They just don't mix into anything.
No.
All right. Next shift. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. Cool. So your next shift comes around. There's no room for you in the wagon when you're on shift anymore. So you will be having to walk around it.
It's a covered wagon, right?
It is.
Is it cloth covered wagon?
Yeah, Conestoga style.
Cool. I was about to say, can one of us be on the roof?
Not
We're
really.
probably
Una might.
too heavy.
Una could. Agile Mask has, but he's very, very light of foot.
He's a cat.
With cat-like tread.
Cat? He's a kitty cat. And he dance, and he dance.
Sorry, I need to give you guys your.
I don't imagine
for no reason.
Agile Mask to be much of a dancer.
You don't know.
Cat?
It's not a question of agility, it's a question of personality.
Cat? He's a kitty cat.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as you're going forward with your one wagon, what sort of formation would you say you're in? In terms of the wagon. You know what? Here, let me give you a map, and you can arrange yourselves.
Oh, you're gonna move us away from such a good page in map tool?
I just looked at it. You guys are the worst.
Oh, I didn't see all this. Pretty good. Put it on stream real quick.
I'm not gonna do that. Alright. I'm gonna give you guys all vision.
I feel like standard. Last time it was Septon and Shandi flanking the sides, right? Up front?
Yeah. I'd be down for that. Troopy.
Great. I mean, you're coming out of this little passage here. And you're headed down.
I'll say
into the
Tether's
dark.
lagging a little bit because her endurance isn't the best.
Right. And
She does
then
canonically have asthma.
Canonically has asthma.
Revenant will be back here with you, Tether. Cool. Make a perception check, everybody.
$16.
23.
Lasted 20.
3.
20.
Unnatural 20.
You guys are fucking perceptive.
I have a
Yeah,
plus
we-
8 to it.
Question: if it is dark, do we have disadvantage on perception checks?
I mean, you're just in your dark vision range, so I'd say probably not.
Oh, okay.
Everybody here can see in the dark right now, so.
It's so wild to me that I have a plus 8 to perception and I don't have the highest perception.
Cool.
Luna does.
The 23ers of you see something. You see, two of the stalactites are not what they seem. They seem to be subtly moving, like with breath.
There's more. What were they called? Stabbers, fallers, the things that fall and hit.
Yeah, Mask, what were those called?
Railers, piercers,
Mask is asleep.
nailers.
Ren Ironguard
Oh.
is manning the She goes, what?
The things that fell from the ceiling.
I don't remember that.
Stop the wagon. Also, I'm gonna start to speak louder so people can hear me.
All right, and as you start to speak louder, these things begin to jiggle a little bit, and they're not the only ones. Roll initiative.
Oh,
Yeah,
not the
I'm also
jiggling
jiggling.
boys.
They're jiggling.
Oh, you all right? Give me just a mo. Great. So, Tether, as you begin to yell, you notice these two guys start to shake, and yellow eyes just boom, 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 open up all around the outer ridge of the stalactite. What do you want to do?
They're there and there.
Those are the ones you can see, yeah.
Oh, I need to turn on. Ooh, I might be able to do something. Can I turn on? Turn on grid. We'll do a little ruler. Yes.
They're probably about 30 feet up.
Yeah. Could I entangle them on the ceiling?
All right, draw your entangle space.
Yeah, it's 20 foot, I believe. 20-foot square. So let's see. Drawing tool. Oh, transparent. No, don't make this mistake again, Michael. No, delete it.
It's not transparent. This is fully white.
I know. I realized what I was doing as I was drawing it. I clicked transparent.
It's fine.
No, stop it! I hate doing this. I'm so bad at it. I keep clicking and forget. Let's do it one more time. Click transparent? Yeah, I did. How do you make it just an outline? Is that a thing?
No.
I think it's like this. Yeah.
Cool. As you entangle. All right, what's the save for that?
Strength.
That is a 10 and a 6. So I'm guessing
Entangled.
that's a fail. So what happens? They just are restrained.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Yeah, they wrap themselves up. And how do they get out of it? They can make a save at the end of their turns.
Yeah.
All right, then they will do that as their turn is up next. The first one rolls poorly. That's a 12. And the second one rolls a natural 20. So he's Dark Mantle 2 is no longer restrained. Dark Mantle 1 is.
You mean Dark Mantle 6?
Yeah, that's what I meant. What do you mean Dark Mantle 2? All right. Turn. Something above your head flaps itself off the ceiling and juts right for you. This, rather than just like a fall, this thing seems to be flying as it like flips itself around and just opens its like a flap of skin up and just ringed teeth you see barreling down towards your head. Ooh. 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. As it swoops its way down and attaches itself to your head. As you see Turn just get engulfed by this thing. You are going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and this thing is attacked to you. You're blinded, and you're unable to breathe. Yep.
Sweet.
Septon, same thing's gonna happen to you.
Stuff.
That is a 16 to hit.
Ah, that's the AC.
Yep. All right, and
Rats.
it's gonna come sweeping down towards you. You're only gonna take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, but this thing is on your head. Sean D, same to you. God damn it. Oh, that's a 16.
I'm gonna use defensive duelist.
Cool. As it flies down towards you, teeth flaring, you whip out your rapier and knock it back, and it flops on the ground next to you. And then last one is going to attempt to get on this horse.
And right away.
And it is unable to attach, but it is, you know where it is now. And that will make it Septon's turn. Septon, you are blind and unable to breathe. So,
Okay.
breath rolls in D&D, I fucking forget how they work. You have, you hold
Since
your
you're
breath.
being, it's not holding your breath for these guys, it counts as suffocating. You can last a number of rounds equal to your con modifier, after which point you drop to 0 hit points.
Cool.
Okay, number of rounds equal to con modifier. Okay. Is there a check I can make to remove it?
Yeah, you could try. You could make a strength check to try to get it out as an action. Get out of it as an action.
Strength check. Oh, not great. Well, I can't actually drop any spells, can I? Because I can't really perform a verbal component.
You can't.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Alright, yeah, we'll go for the strength check. See if we can wriggle out of this bad boy. Yep. That's a natural 20.
Yeah,
right there.
you rip this thing off your head.
I assume that's my action.
That is an action, yeah.
Okay, and this fella's still right in front of me, isn't he?
Yep.
As a bonus action, I will. I'll spin the whistling whip. I haven't done that in a while. Give him a wisdom save.
That is a 14.
14. That's a failure.
Cool.
So that means Dark Mantle 4, disadvantage on his next attack. And that is my turn.
Great. Sean D.
Alright, I'm going to set my sword on fire and attack this dark mantle right in front of me.
Great.
24.
24 will hit.
Okay. That's gonna be 12 piercing damage and 3 fire damage.
Cool. As you slash into this thing, it screeches an unearthly sound. And the dark mantle on the horse whips its head over towards you. Anything else from you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my second attack.
Cool. Oh, yeah, you have 2 of this.
That's a miss. That's 9 to hit.
9 does not hit. As this thing is writhing, it's hard to get an angle on it with your sword. Anything else from you?
No,
No, that's it for me.
Cool. Una. Oh. Is she okay?
I think she's frozen.
Hello?
She's frozen with a very concerned look on her face.
Hello?
It looks kind of like an Excedrin ad.
Phoenix took his headphones off.
Oh, their Wi-Fi went out.
Oh, why can we still see you?
Because, well, it's not the Wi-Fi, it's this internet switch here. My desktop actually has Wi-Fi and it kicked over to it, but it's gonna come back up soon.
All right. Well, why don't you take your turn then?
Okay, let me make sure it comes back up.
Cool.
Here, I'll do mine really fast. I am going. Okay.
Oh
It's
no.
Oh, my out.
No. Well, anybody seen any good movies lately?
I saw Suicide Squad 2.
Alright, I'm gonna pause the battle music while this happens. Oh wait, is she back?
We should be coming back on here.
Okay, we can hear you again, Phoenix.
I literally said mine is back like 3 times, and Phoenix is still going, oh man, it's still gone. It's gone.
No, but you weren't in the Discord, and I was also watching the power switch here.
Alright, well then, Una, it is your turn.
Hold on, because everything crashed.
That's fair.
Bandicoot?
I'll try to keep going, though. I want to slide under,
Classic Una maneuver.
yeah. Oh, I'm not on the map.
Here,
I'm back
I'll
on
get
penis
you.
map. But I want to slide under, and as I do that, like bang the side of the wagon and be like, "Help! It's bad." And then take an attack on the one that I recall was on turn.
If you slide on, yeah, you'll be able to do that.
Can I see that one? Okay. Oh, not create a character. My characters.
Just create a new character.
Just make a new
Suddenly.
one.
Make a new one.
Suddenly, Una's not Una. Alright.
Una transforms into a ripped surfer
Okay,
dude.
23.
23 will absolutely hit.
Mm-hmm. Do I get sneaky? Nah.
I don't think so.
I didn't actively take the action to hide, so.
And I don't think he's granting it to you.
Okay. He can't see me?
No.
And I've got-
I don't think you have sneak attack on this one.
Okay. 4 points of psychic damage.
4 points of psychic damage. Whoopsh. Anything else from you?
I'll throw again. Nah. 11.
11 hits.
Oh, whoa!
These things aren't the most
Okay.
armored. They're just sort of fleshy cave bat things.
Cool. 6 more points.
6 more
psychic
points of
damage.
psychic damage. As it doesn't seem to like what's going on.
Well, I didn't want it to like me.
Fair enough. Alright, turn.
Sweet. So, can I attack it, this thing?
You are blinded and unable to breathe, but it says nothing about you not being able to attack it.
Nice.
I
Well, then
think I'm gonna give you disadvantage to attack it.
I think I should have disadvantage to attack it.
I mean, you're blinded, so I guess you would. There.
Yeah, I think blinded would do that.
It sure would.
I still can't see the map.
I don't need the map. I'm blind. I'm role-playing my blindness.
Cool,
I'm gonna
but
turn
I
off my
would like
monitor.
to see it. This isn't about...
Did that work, Chelsea?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay, sweet. I'm going to attempt to hit it with my adamantine longsword.
Great.
Just pry it off my face before I get vored. Roll a 7.
7 does not hit.
Okay, how about a 10?
10 does not hit either. How many rounds do you got left?
I have 2 rounds, and then I suffocate, so I have next round.
Cool. All right, Tether.
Tether is gonna move over.
Why is your name Travis McElroy?
What?
Why is your map tool named Travis McElroy?
I'm playing Tether,
Okay.
and I'm Tether right here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Tether right here, and Tether is gonna bonus action cast Shillelagh, and then baseball hit the thing on Turn's head.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Natural 20.
All right.
Okay.
Roll the damage. Don't roll about rolling to confirm this crit, because these guys don't have a lot of HP.
Okay,
I
so
was hoping once I saw how many there were.
7. I always forget. For this campaign, do we do roll twice or double one roll?
Whatever you prefer.
What does everyone else do?
You can Oh,
I double
interesting.
the
Weird.
dice.
I double die because that's what the book says,
That's
and I'm
what
a
the
rules
book
lawyer.
says.
Okay, I'll double die.
I know people who like to do the other thing, but I'm a double die person as well, but I don't put any specifications on that.
Because I want more glittery giblets doing the clickety clack.
What?
It's a diced goblin
Oh.
joke.
Rolling more dice is always more
Rolling
fun.
more dice.
The other thing is a 3-5 holdover.
What?
A what?
If you just double the damage dice, that's a 3-5. If you double your roll, it's a 3-5 holdover for critting.
I'm fine with that. I have no problem when people do that. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do that when I'm controlling a lot of creatures, just because it's easy.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
would.
She's gonna go, turn! And just,
Beat me in the
Yeah.
face with a stick?
it's
I'm helping
20.
you!
20 how much?
20 magical bludgeoning damage.
20 magical bludgeoning damage, and the thing you hit it off his head right into the wagon, and it boom, thuds against the side and it falls to the ground.
And suddenly Turn has no teeth.
Well, Turn is missing something. Your
Well,
very
missing.
fragile clay
Oh.
horn that you guys made together definitely shattered from this.
Jeez. The emotional damage, Blake people.
They
I
made a
don't-
clay horn! Something grabbed onto his head!
I don't think I've noticed yet, so we'll roleplay that one at
Yep.
the end of this combat.
Just when Turn was starting to feel better.
Was he though?
Oh man, good thing we're in the Underdark because you won't have to bury my body after I die. Just leave me in a ditch down here. Like, it's fine.
There's a bone pile in the Underdark. You could just.
Oh,
go
Tether
to.
would be like, oh, leave me in the Underdark. My body will decompose and maybe add some life to this horrible place.
All right. Anything else from you, Tether?
Bonus action, movement, I'm good.
Cool.
Could you actually just attack again, Tether, and just hit turn extra hard?
No, I can't attack at him because that's a bonus action.
Okay. I say
Alright.
you missed.
Dark Mantle 6 is gonna fly down on you, Tether, and is going to a flaccid 20 to hit you.
Yeah, it does.
Now it's on your head. You're gonna take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. You are blinded and are suffocating. Make a concentration check for me.
11.
All right, that's fine. You still got your entangle up. Though the other Dark Mantle is going to roll a 15 on a strength saving throw.
Nope.
Cool.
You would have to roll a 16.
All right, the Dark Mantle that you pried off you, Septon, is gonna attempt to jump right back on.
Of course.
And that's
He has disadvantage because of the whip.
does. That is only an 18.
That'll hit, rats.
6 points of bludgeoning damage.
6 points.
Shandi, the Dark Mantle you stabbed is gonna do the same thing. That's a natural 20.
Damn.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. And Dark Mantle number 5 is going to fly over to you and is then going to expand its darkness aura. And magical darkness is going to spread out around him.
Yeah, Peeves is right. How big is that thing?
Terrible. No, that's nothing. I fucking hate map tool, dude. Ah, shit.
Map tool devs are never gonna show up in our chat.
So, wait. If I have a modifier of 1 in Constitution, would it be my next turn I suffocation, or that's my first turn of suffocation?
You have 1 turn you can last before you die.
Cool.
That's all the Dark Mantles. Septon.
I got a boy on my face, don't I?
Mm-hmm. I forgot to put Johnson into combat. He's asleep. You're fine.
I was about to ask.
I forgot to roll it.
Are you
He's
sure? We're
he's-
not doing so hot.
well, top of round
he was
3.
out there.
You did a bang on
He
the
was out
thing.
there.
You did a bang on the thing. He'll come out at the top of round 3. How's that sound?
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'll yank this fella off my face again. Or I'll try to.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's a 13.
13 is enough.
Do a yank.
These things
Good.
aren't incredibly strong.
I guess I have movement, don't I?
You do.
No, that's not really useful. Bonus actions. I'll just bonus action. Oh man. Can Shandi hear me?
He's blinded, not deafened.
Okay. Then I will bonus action throw a little inspiration over to Shandi. Oh, do I need to be able to see someone to inspire them? Because that's darkness.
Yeah. I feel like we had this.
I don't think you do. I think they just have to hear you.
Okay, if they just have to be able to hear me, then we'll throw an inspiration.
I might have to double check. I don't remember for sure.
I will double check super quick, because it's very easy to find Bard.
Mhm.
Inspiration, bonus action to one creature other than yourself. Who can hear you? Within 60 feet, who can hear you?
Cool.
Alright, yep. I'll throw a little inspiration on Shandi, because he looks like he's in a not amazing situation. I saw him going to an orb of darkness. Actually, no. I pulled the thing off my face and saw darkness where Shandi used to be.
Yeah.
So, hope you're doing okay in there.
Anything else from you there, Seth?
No, that's an action and a bonus action.
Cool.
I
Shandi,
just want one action where there's not something on my face. I want to cast a spell.
good luck.
So, I gotta see if you'll allow this. Back when Johnson was drowning 10 years ago, I asked if I could teleport with him, and you said no, that's not how the Echo works. So if I cast Echo and swap places with it, does that just get me out of here?
Do you have to be able to see where you cast your echo?
I don't. I can check, but I don't think so.
Check on that.
If I do, I'll be really mad. I lit my sword on fire instead of casting my Echo. Unoccupied space, I can see.
Yep.
All right. I am going to, I guess, just try to pry him off then.
All right, strength saving throw for me. Or just to check. It's just a check. Yep.
12.
12 is not enough. As you struggle, you can't get him off. I assume you have more than 0 con. Oh yeah, your inspiration. Did you
Oh
use
yes.
that?
Sorry. How much is that again?
Doesn't matter. If you roll 1,
It's a D8,
succeed.
I believe.
But you can roll it for fun if you'd like.
Let's roll it for fun. 8.
8, yeah. A 20 is successful. As you,
We
boom,
never use
rip this
his
thing off,
inspiration.
and you can't see anything.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Una uses it, which was why Chelsea receives inspiration more than other people.
Perks.
Also, because if the rogue crits, you can double the inspiration, which is nice.
I guess since I can't see, then I'm just gonna bonus action to shift instead.
All right, you got a lot of bonus actions, huh?
I do, yeah.
All right, Una.
Alright, I'm gonna turn to turn and say, you help tether, and then I'm gonna slip and slide over this body. And throw things at Dark Mantle 4.
Great, go for it.
Oh, no, that's an 8.
8 does not hit.
So I'll try again, please. That's 12.
12 does hit.
Yes.
You got that sneak attack.
Yes, I do.
And your maces cry on your back.
They cry?
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, yeah.
They never get used. They
I don't
literally
wanna-
haven't been used
Okay.
one time.
Would you, in my situation, go do melee with these things?
You were in melee with the last one.
Yeah, not willing. Bleep blorp. Oh wait, no. This is my offhand. Hold on. Different die. No. Slightly different die. Okay. We're back in business, guys.
Cool.
10, 11, 14 points of psychic damage.
14 points of psychic damage. Didn't seem to like that too much.
Sorry.
You
Not
just
sorry.
Your dagger went into one of its eyes, and all of its eyes blink, but leaves no wound. So, confusedly screaming in pain. Anything else from you?
Nope.
Turn.
Alrighty. I suppose I'm just gonna hit Tether.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a longsword attack, and I'll go ahead and bonus action Zephyr Strike.
Cool.
Alrighty, so that gives me advantage. I roll a 19.
19 hits.
Alrighty, I do. Let's see. Oh, I do 6 points of slashing and 8 points of force damage.
Cool.
And then I make it I make the birds try to pry it off
Sweet.
Tether's head, and it rolls a strength saving throw.
Ooh, that is a 9.
That's a fail. I get to push it back 15 feet
Oh.
in any direction I choose.
Which direction would you like to choose?
I'm gonna throw it south of me. And then with my second attack, I'm going to draw my only remaining throwing weapon at this point,
That
a hand
axe?
axe. Yeah, I'm just gonna hurl it.
Cool.
That's a 15.
15 is enough to hit.
And the 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage, and it's still up. It's got an axe in it now, and it's like, but it is alive still. Anything else from you?
I look at Tether and I say, are you alright?
Yeah, it was like being in a cave that I didn't want to be in.
I know, it was very moist.
Yeah.
It's your turn,
Oh.
Tyler.
I'm gonna try to hit it.
Cool. Hey, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry, I can't read your name. Shut off in chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate the follow. My eyes are just terrible.
14.
14 is enough to hit.
Nine.
9 points of damage, and you just squish this thing, and it splats flat. No longer among us.
And then I'll go here and turn. Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks.
Anything else?
No, unless it's Dark Mantle Forest Horn, in which case can it make a Constitution saving throw?
Is it close enough?
Yeah, 10.
Cool. Well, we're gonna start with Dark Mantle 1, but then we'll go to him.
Yeah.
Dark Mantle 1 is gonna roll a 14 on its strength save to remove itself from your... Cool.
No.
Alright, Constitution saving throw, natural 20 from Dark Mantle.
Cool. Everyone is so good at holding their breath.
You guys included. Alright, it's gonna jump back on you, Septa. That is
Bad.
a 22.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Why are these things attack so good?
Because they have no HP. That is 5 points of bludgeoning damage on you. Sean D, you don't know from where, but something's gonna bite you. With a natural 20.
Damn it.
It's not very good, don't worry. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. As it goes on your head. And you're gonna feel some biting around your ankles as well. And that is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm assuming that whatever was near me is adjacent to me.
Yeah.
Let me check how that shifter feat works really quick. The one that lets me jump away. See if that also has to be a creature I can see. I just googled shifter and hope it would bring me
that's
the answers I want.
Probably not gonna do
That's
it.
like a car part, I would guess, first.
Let me see here. Nope, don't have to see, so I can move in 10 directions, or 10 feet any direction.
Cool. Which direction would you like to move in? North, south,
I would
east,
like to
or
move
west?
west 10 feet.
Cool. I mean, you're blind, so you don't know at all what just happened.
I know, I felt something bite me and I
And
screamed
you
and jumped away.
you jumped out of the way. None of you guys see. Shandi doesn't emerge from the darkness. Cool. That is all the Dark Mantle's turns. Septon! You're getting eaten again.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. Johnson,
All right.
Johnson is here now. Just so you know.
Did we ever establish the teleporting rule?
What?
If I attempt to teleport, will it get me out of this fella, or
You could try.
I don't know that, do I?
You could certainly
Doesn't-
try.
Don't you have to see where you're going for your teleport?
Some teleports,
Ooh.
some you don't.
Oh right, I don't know if yours just says it casts step or whatever.
No, I have to be able to see it. You're right. That's a
I
good
think
point.
Misty Step you have to see, but like Dimension Door you don't.
Yeah.
So.
This isn't technically Misty Step, but yes, you're
Doesn't
right.
it allow you to cast Misty Step a certain number of
No,
times per day?
it has its own
Oh.
name. It's just called Phase Step.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, because it has all the added effects of being Eladrin
yeah.
that never come into play when we use it because of the way I use it.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, no, I can't cast any spells. I don't know. Can I whip myself in the face? Can I
Yeah.
make an attack
You'll
on
have
it? Yeah.
disadvantage.
All right, I'll try it.
Wait, but oh yeah, he's hitting the enemy. I was thinking we were saying he's literally hitting himself. I was like, what if he's willing?
Nah, he's blinded trying to hit an enemy, yeah. He's just trying to whip himself so he doesn't have to experience this anymore.
Septon's
Time to
done.
self-flagellate.
Septon's done. Even with disadvantage, it's a 22.
That'll hit.
What's the damage? I don't even know.
Don't know the damage on your own fucking
6
weapon.
slashing and 3 thunder.
Oh, that's enough to kill the thing. Oh.
It
Good.
dies
Yeah, it dies
while
on
you're
your
inside
head.
it.
You whip it, and it suddenly gets a lot heavier on top of you.
Can I, like, for reaction, just, like, push it off?
Anything else from you, Septon?
I think I also would have to be able to... No, that's it.
Cool. Shandi.
I don't think I can Healing Word Shandi because I can't see him.
Would I would probably have, well, I guess I can't see anyway if I tried to attack the thing on my head.
You have disadvantage, yeah.
Okay. I'll just try to rip it off then.
Cool.
That'll be a 16.
16 is enough to rip it off. As you pull it off, you still can't see anything.
Awesome. In that case, yeah, no. I guess that'll be it for me.
Cool. Una.
I'm gonna turn around and look into darkness and be like, well. Do. There's no such thing as like triple disadvantage, right?
Only one. It only stacks to 1. Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't want to hit Sean D though. He's been through enough. Can I instead?
There's trapdoor on the ceiling.
I know. Yes, I know. That's what I was going for. Helpless little guy. Do I have advantage then?
Yeah.
Nice. 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Yeah. Ew, that was poopy. 13 points of psychic damage.
13 points of psychic damage as you whip into it. This thing's not having a good time. At this point,
Sorry.
it's trying to look like a stalactite again. Like, it's just like it doesn't want any part of this.
One more time. I'm gonna shoot at him. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. 16.
16 will hit.
Yay. Boop, boop. Damn it, my D4s suck tonight. 4 points of psychic damage.
Cool. It's still clinging to the ceiling there. Hard to say whether it's on purpose or because of the roots holding it there, but...
Got it. That's it.
Alright, turn.
Alright. I'm going to wander on down here. I'm going to scoop up my hand axe. I'm going to give it a little kiss. It's covered in some gore, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw it at Dark Mantle number 1.
Great.
And as I throw it, I'm going to say, "You're no stalagmite. Now get out of my stalag sight."
Did you get vicious mockery or something?
And I threw it.
Or
I roll-
are you just saying
He
this?
multi-class.
Yeah.
And I rolled an 11.
11 just hits.
That's 7 points of damage. And an additional 3 points of birds.
The birds hit it, and as the birds hit it, its limp corpse just hangs from the ceiling from the entangle spell.
Great. What's all this stuff again here?
That's
The
Tether's
entangle.
entangle on the roof.
Alright, that's what I thought. Tether, would you mind dropping the entangle so I could pick up my axe?
Yeah, totally.
Alright.
And I do.
It is your turn after all.
Yeah.
No, well, you can drop it as if at any time if it's concentration.
Yeah.
So, because I'm still on my turn. Oh, I can't even make it up back that far all the way. 5, 10. I don't want to lose another axe. It's my last one.
After we're done fighting, you can pick it up.
I go to here, and I look at it longingly.
Alright, Tether.
I'm gonna run in and swing.
Just randomly?
Yeah.
Alright, make an attack at disadvantage.
$21.
21 hits something. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Okay, 7.
You hear a Dark Mantle squeal. Yep. You hear a Dark Mantle have a bad time. And that's it.
Oh, can I bonus action
Not
hit
one
again?
with Darkness.
Sure. Disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah, roll again. That's a 12.
What's your AC, Shandi?
A 12 does not hit my ace.
Cool. you slam into something and you excitedly swing again, and you feel it connect with like something much firmer, and you hear Shandi go, oh. As
Shandy, I'm here too.
you hear something swinging towards you, and you block it with your sword.
Oh, be careful, Tether. Please don't hit me.
I promise I won't hit you on purpose.
Um,
Oh wait, never mind. I already used my action.
I assume the one that went squish was not the one on my head. If I assume I would know if it was the one on my head.
It wasn't on your head anymore. You got it off.
I thought it attacked me again and got back on.
It did, but then you got it off again.
Oh.
Yeah, and they haven't had another turn since your turn when you got it off.
Yep. Cool. One sec. Damn it. I really thought I made a darkness token. But I think I didn't. Oh well. Just another way that map tool blows. I can't move this darkness, despite the fact that it's gonna move. Tether. Something's coming at you.
Well, at the start of its turn, can it make a Constitution saving throw?
What's the range?
It's 10 feet, but it's not only at the start of their turn. It's circle of. It's 10 feet, and blah 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 blah. Read. When a creature you see moves into your space within 10 feet of you or starts its turn,
here's the
then
thing:
you can use your reaction.
you can't see it,
Oh, true.
so it's gonna.
Well, what about the one that's starting its turn within the 10 feet?
It says a creature you see.
I know, but that was during the move part. I'm not that.
19.
Yeah.
All right, gets on your head. Oh, I need to hide you. Six points of bludgeoning damage to you, Tether.
Dang. Just kidding. That's something.
Una, you're also now engulfed in darkness.
Okay.
And it is Septon's turn. What do you want to do, Septon?
Septon has a very bad idea.
My favorite.
Is it run into the darkness and just swing?
No. Septon's like, well, dark. Guess I gotta light it up. So, I'm gonna just grab a little, this, and a little, that. Why not? That's a fine color. And Septon's just gonna throw out in front of him in the dark, fairy fire. So anybody in that box, because I can't see you, make a dex check.
Tether, make it.
Does that beat magical darkness? That's dope.
I don't know, actually.
I hope so.
It's
That'd
magical light, but
Yeah.
I don't actually think it will beat out magical darkness.
And light
But we're
always
gonna
triumphs
try it,
over
so...
darkness.
What'd you get, Tether?
14.
Cool.
Heather's outlined.
Nah, she's not. What level spell is this?
I guess it'd be a first level spell.
You cast it out, and nothing happens.
But
Seems that this darkness prevents light, natural light and magical light up to a certain level of power.
Okay. I think Fairy Fire is a first level spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
good though.
Well, okay, as a free action, so I'm just go. Is everybody okay in there?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
I said in there. Wait, Una responded?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Una's in there.
I'm in
Okay.
there.
I'm not
I
in
think I
better.
can take a step back.
You hear Tether's muffled voice coming from the darkness.
Okay, Tether, hang in there. Bonus action, we're gonna inspire Tether.
Cool.
Can't heal anybody still, because gotta see you for that one. I can inspire you.
All right, Shandi. Oh, unless you have something else you want to do.
No, oh, I can't actually. No, I can't do that. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Shandi. You heard Tether say, "I'm here now."
Yeah, this is risky, but can I take a swing at like head level to where I heard Tether's muffled voice?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll with disadvantage.
15.
15 is enough to hit something. Go and roll damage.
All right, that's going to be 12 piercing damage,
Nice.
6 fire damage.
Nice. Yeah, you make contact. Tether, you feel some heat. Like at this like sinewy form on top of you. You feel like heat sear across the front of it. It's still holding on though. Its teeth are going into your head.
I get flashbacks to that one dream fight where I was knocked out by fire every round.
Yeah, that did happen. Those bombs. Anything else from you, Shandi?
Can I step 10 more feet backwards, or west, I guess, the way I jumped before?
Yeah. You're still in darkness.
Damn, I thought that'd be enough. Can I go 5 more?
Hey, you're back.
Hell yeah. Alright. That'll be it for me.
Cool. That makes it Una's turn.
Alright, so I heard the muffles.
Yeah, you heard some muffles.
Alright, I'm gonna attack at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Prayers, no. Oh, both of those sucked. But the worst one was an 8.
8 does not hit.
Yeah. Did I hit my BB?
Nope.
Okay. I'll try again. Whoa! Literally the same 2 numbers.
And once
On
again,
the
a
same
miss.
Die, yeah. And then so I saw it come towards me, right?
Well, the darkness sort of came in towards you, and you're now in
Can I
it.
take a step back?
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah. You're there.
And
You-
just be like,
That's
Heather's still in there. I can't hit it.
all right. Anything else?
Thanks for the support, guys.
You hear,
Boy,
I'm
shrug.
just trying a little RP within combat.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
I would have done something if I
I know
could.
you would have. I know you would have.
I love you so much.
I love you more.
Don't worry, I'll do something on my turn, but I gotta wait like 12 seconds
It's your
before
turn.
that happens.
It's your turn.
Alright, here we go. I stepped 5 feet over to here, and I once again pick my axe up out of this thing, and I kiss it. And then I step 5, 10, and I look at Una and I say, I'm going in there.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go 15. I'm gonna try and make my way towards the sounds. I'm calling out, alright, who's in here? Make a sound.
Hear sound from over this direction. But you also feel a very scaly presence directly in front of you.
Oh, immediately in front of me?
Yeah. Scaly,
Oh.
with a lot of legs. Perhaps the
that.
thing that was driving the wagon.
Oh.
Alright. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna try and scoot around it, I suppose. 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 10 feet of movement left, so
You have
I just want to...
You have 15. Oh god.
Why is that?
No. Are we being follow-botted?
What happened?
I think we got follow-botted.
A...
Love that.
A...
They like us. They really like us.
You have 15 left. You've only moved 15. Oh no, wait. You've moved 20.
No, because I
you stepped. Yeah, you
stepped 5, 10, 15, 20. Alright, I just used my last 10 to move towards Tether's voice. How far can I get? Where am I going? I can't see anything.
Okay, well, as you try to step here, you bump into the Arachneer.
Am I able to squeeze around somehow?
You can go like 5, 10. Yeah, like that.
Alright. And just like before, I'm gonna dash madly through the darkness and hope I hit a handsome guard.
20. I mean, Tether's voice is coming from over here, and you know the
That's where
Arachneer's end here.
Well, that's where I want to go.
30.
That's what
Yeah,
the
you
rest
get
of my
about
move-
there, and you feel there's a presence next to you.
Oh.
That's all you got.
Alright. That's all I can do with my turn, but I get ready to start ripping.
Cool. Tether, you're up.
Can I hit the thing on my... Can I do this?
Disadvantage, yeah.
Bonk.
That's a 15.
15 will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
10.
10 points of damage is enough to kill this stupid thing. Alright. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Kill it and it falls off your head. And that's all.
Ooh.
That's all of them.
Cool.
Bye.
The danger seems to have ceased for now.
Oh no, turn's still in the darkness.
Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Is that a lie?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's everyone else?
Well, I'm feeling much better than I was, what the lizard fight was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling much better than I was yesterday, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Not great, but yeah, lizard fight was worse.
It's alright in there. It's all done.
They're all asleep.
Johnson
We
never
did the
came
hit.
out to help.
Yeah, but they're still asleep. They've been fighting stuff while you guys have been asleep, too. That's sort of the arrangement.
Oh, I didn't know there have been combats while
Yeah.
we're asleep.
Yeah, they've been dealing with stuff while you sleep, and you've been dealing with stuff while they sleep. That's how it works.
Oh, I just thought we were being unlucky and not being the only ones getting stuff.
Nope. It's
Cool.
pretty much a constant barrage of bullshit down here.
Let's go.
Yeah, back on track.
Cool, yeah.
Huzzah.
Get the wagons, the Arachneers up, and Red Iron Guard continues to whip them as you continue along your way. The rest of your watch is pretty uneventful. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you go to sleep?
No.
Turn.
Where is he?
He's not in the room.
Oh, he left.
He probably went to get a snack or food,
My dude
or
left.
do his business.
Dude,
Well,
peace out.
what Tether's thinking right now is she sees Turn sans horn, and so I wanted to do like an RP based on that.
Yeah, and you'll get the
Don't worry.
chance.
Yeah.
I think Desi is going to talk to Septon at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Septon?
Again, just Septon's okay.
Okay, do you think if I tried really hard I could become blue too?
I don't know. I mean, you could, like, paint your face blue. I'll be honest, though. I don't really like being blue.
No. Well,
Not my favorite.
you should
I prefer orange.
You should stop being blue.
Oh, I would love to, but you know, this place, it's rather blue,
Oh,
as it were.
okay.
You know, gotta blend in with the surroundings.
Maybe one day I'll be able to make you a potion to make sure that you're always orange.
Maybe. Septon is like, don't. Septon in his head is like, don't say that's just alcohol. Don't say that's just alcohol, but kid.
Alright. That little filler RP can be done.
Earn some time there.
Mike, you had...
Hello?
Hmm?
Oh,
Well, that was a close one, Tether.
yeah, it was. Sorry I hit you really hard in the head.
Sorry I hit you really hard in the head.
That's okay, but I think I broke your horn again.
What? Oh. I go over and dig through what's left of the dark mantle, and that where the horn was.
It's semi-intact. It's in like 4 or 5 pieces rather than a million, but...
Well, that's okay. We can either fix it, or maybe we can call that prototype 1.
Alright. We'll need another servant tray so we can make a new prototype.
You're right, that is the only way we can make them.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, has Septon ever cast mending?
I don't think so. Maybe on a wagon one time?
Peter, have you ever cast mending?
No, I don't think I've ever cast mending in this game. I didn't pick it up until later.
I can actually check that.
Chelsea knows.
But yeah, Chelsea has the data.
And I don't think you did, but
No, I didn't pick it up till level 4.
yeah.
So we played for a little bit before I got it.
Chelsea has
Working on it.
all the numbers. She is so smart.
Well,
Where did we start this? Did we start this game at level 1?
it's alright. We'll just hold on to the pieces. Once we're in a place where we can make a new one or fix it, we'll do so. So I'll just go ahead and put these in my bag.
Okay, and then we can either get glue, or we can either get someone to transmute.
Septon has cast mending.
Oh.
Oh!
And
In episode 19, I don't know what was going on.
Ah, so it was like a year ago.
Only a couple months, really.
Yeah.
well, Turn has the memory of a finch, so
Heroes of Tomorrow. What happened in that episode?
Oh, that was when he was fighting the eel. Or no. Heroes of
That
Tomorrow.
Couldn't have been.
Heroes of Tomorrow is when you guys got dunked on by a dragon.
Yeah. So that was when we were at that festival
Did he
thing.
cast it at the festival?
Must have. Yeah.
Because
neither of you were
because-
with him.
Because Turn's horn got broken on his mask.
Oh yeah. Actually, you were both with him then.
You've seen me fix a horn by
That's true.
casting
Turn.
mending.
That's
we've
true,
come full
actually.
circle.
Amazing.
Oh my
Round of
goodness.
applause for Chelsea.
Yeah,
Can we have
that was
some
sick.
claps in the chat for Chelsea?
So
Oh.
honestly, even with your shitty
That
memory
is
turn,
beautiful.
that's a pretty striking image.
Wow, I say, where have we gotten a horn repaired before?
Horn repair shop? That doesn't exist. He's Septon. When have we gotten a horn repaired before?
Like a real one by a doctor, or like you? Do you need that one repaired? I can see it in your hands, right?
Just shoveling it into a bag.
Is that the one you need repaired? Cause like, give me a literal minute and I can fix it for you.
What a day.
All right.
Yeah, and Septal cast mending, which takes I think a literal minute,
Yeah.
and then
Boom. Good as a nail.
part of me thinks the cantrip mending is just a joke. Because, like, it takes a minute to fix a small object, and there's a part of me that thinks there's no magic involved. It just takes a minute to fix a small object.
I would use mending in campaign 1 because Deirdre, made herself wear a ball gown everywhere, and so she'd have to prepare that every night.
The future Empress of Salos, everyone.
Hey, she has standards.
Yeah, so as Septon takes a minute and puts his hands around the horn, little sort of magical fibers connect the horn to itself and slowly draw it back together.
Cool. I guess this is a non-issue.
Wonderful. Well,
Anytime. Professional horn repair. As long as it's not like a real biological horn, I don't think I could do that. I've never tried, but I don't think I could.
Are you really a professional? Do you need payment?
Oh, no. You got the friends and family discount.
Which one are we?
Friends. You guys are friends.
Cool. That's so cool. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
well, I suppose we should get this show back on the road.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we were traveling while this
Yeah,
happened.
you were. Yeah, but
I was standing still.
the caravan has left you behind. Yeah, cool. So the rest of your watch passes without issue. And you are welcome to take a long rest if you would so choose. You can also choose not to, but you'll gain a level of exhaustion, so.
Why would we choose that?
I don't know, man. Some of you guys like to nerf your own characters. I'm not gonna name names.
Only when it
Some?
makes sense.
I'm pretty sure there's just one.
Only when it. I'm sorry for trying to
No, I like it. It's good.
make a good story. Okay,
I like it.
I'm sorry for trying to add some creative ingenuity to a dungeon party show. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was gonna
It went on
come
for
to
a
this show and be attacked.
while. I
Did
like
my
it.
camera just freeze for all y'all again?
Yeah.
Oh, you're frozen.
Yeah.
Honestly, a couple of your cameras are freezing for me.
Just
Oh.
Winfield for me.
Just Winfield's for me.
Michael's frozen for me.
No, he's just not moving very much. He's trying to pretend like
No.
he's fucking frozen.
Michael is legitimately frozen for me.
You have a cheeky little smile, though, Winfield. You look like
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks mischievous.
you're happy.
I'm plotting something.
He's scheming.
He's just reading Little Goblin Girl.
No.
No,
That's
it's on the shelf behind me now. I have it
I
on
think you
display.
mean rereading.
Yeah, that too. All right, let me try to fix this really quick.
Cool. The next day of travel. The next day that your shift, you are called on shift. Not a whole lot seems to be happening. If there's anything you'd like to do during the day. During your time guarding.
Well, here's the thing. If we're just, like, hanging out, walking around, we can't start, like, long projects or, like, get started on something, right?
No, you don't have downtime to like start a project unless it's something you can do while walking next to a caravan.
I don't think so.
Cool.
How fast is the caravan moving?
It's a comfortable walking speed. So not terribly. Not really all that much faster than you guys would just travel on foot.
We're not in like a forced march or whatever it is, right?
No.
Do we?
The Arachniers travel at a pretty set pace, and it's not incredibly fast. They just don't stop.
Okay. I do nothing and I say nothing.
Okay.
Probably it's too fast for me to keep contributing to my travel log, right?
It's probably not the neatest. If you're fine with a little bit messy handwriting, then you can do that. But
Septon's gonna try to.
That's the charm.
cool. Make your history check to see how well you record.
It's a 7.
Your
Travelogue sucks.
travelog's not really good.
You can use our reroll, our group reroll.
One of you has to decide to give him the reroll.
Does John D complain?
No.
This is not good.
He just sighs and puts his journal back in his bag.
Septon, what were you saying?
Septon will cast Minor Illusion a couple times to try to entertain Desi.
She likes it. Yeah. What are you making?
I wonder if it's possible. It doesn't create a sound, but it creates like a small image or character that I think I can animate and move. Or is it a static image? I don't actually remember.
I'll say you can give it some like minor animation.
Septon, through a small series of casting minor illusions and stuff, is gonna put on a puppet show for Desi.
Aw.
It's character creation animation.
Yeah.
Or
What sort of tale are you telling?
I mean, it'll be like a silly children's fairy tale from the Feywild, so a literal fairy tale, probably. Something Septon knows is like appropriate for kids.
Sure, she giggles and enjoys it. You also
it's appropriate for kids in the Feywild. I don't know if that translates to appropriate on the material.
It's definitely probably a little bit more raunchy than children material from the material plane. Silas doesn't seem to mind though. He's watching as intently as Desi is and like clapping along. You also do notice the Countess is taking a vested interest in your little play.
I need to make a performance check for this.
Go for it, yeah.
Oh,
I'll give you advantage on this one though.
Okay, I'm gonna need it. Oh no, that's a nat 20 plus 7.
Yeah, I mean it's kick ass. I mean you've done this before.
That's true.
It's probably honestly what you did like in preparation, like when your family got to a town and you like set up before the show started. You probably one of your jobs was wrangling children by like putting on little puppet shows. So.
If you can get the kids in, you can get the whole family to come to the show.
So that was probably something that you were like regularly doing. So yeah, you've done this a million times. You know how to make the most of minor illusion to make something like this interesting.
Can make it.
I'm gonna rule you can give it like a couple frames of animation, really, you know.
Yeah, I think you can do simple movements. Yeah. I don't like. I think you could make like a fake flame and make it like animated-ish.
Yeah. It's that. Cool. So that's the day whiles by pretty boringly, with the exception of you, Septon. It's probably pretty fun day. People seem to like it a lot. But night or your watch ends without too much of a fuss. You have 2 days left before you theoretically reach Krias. Cool. On your next watch, the following day, near the end of your watch, you've spent most of the time going already, as you're rounding a fairly narrow tunnel, like your cart barely fits through on either end, you hear up ahead of you some noise. Sounds sort of like footsteps and low voices coming from the far end of the tunnel.
Low voices or low voice? Low voice.
Voices. Murmurs of different timbres. You can't really make out what's being said, but conversation is happening.
Should we check it out? Could it be another one of the come over here and I'll grab yous?
Is it like off in another direction, or
you're in a pretty narrow tunnel. Like you've barely got any room around the wagon.
And it's like dead ahead of us?
The sound is echoing down through the tunnel ahead of you.
I feel like we should head forward and check it out if possible.
Yes, that seems wise to me as well.
I could go invisible and scout ahead.
I could come with you also invisible, if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go.
Can I cast Pass Without Trace on Septon? No, it's self. Never mind.
You can't cast it on somebody. It's a radius from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I'll cast Whispers as well, because I can't use my telepathy if I can't see you.
Before I drop invisibility? Or?
Yeah, so hold on.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just do it before. You don't have to even hold on. I'm just checking. So I'll I'll link with Septon. Tether. Yeah. And who has the ear?
I have the ear.
You have the ear. Okay, and turn. So everyone's really covered for the next. I upgraded to a D8 and I got a stinky 1 for the next hour, but I don't think we'll need it for longer.
Cool.
And invisible.
My mushroom cap smells so musty right now.
Heather again.
And it smells so good.
Heather, I know you can do this.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Honestly, I just won't think until you're done.
Okay. Well,
Puts
we'll
a
see how that.
puts a new meaning on the word vegetable.
Don't think, 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 don't think.
Heather,
don't think,
please.
don't think.
Please.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Alright. Let's go.
Mask will
Stephanie.
bring the arachnids to a close by literally just throwing an arrow at one of them, and they just curl up.
Seems cruel.
Eh. They're gonna die when you get to Krias, so whatever.
True.
They're just gonna die.
Alright, let's go, Septon.
All right.
Cool.
Do you have a map for this, or we just?
We do. Sorry, one sec. Which one is it? I named them all very similarly. Oh, that's really funny.
Cavern 2, Cavern 4.
Yeah, they're all cavern.
Good Cavern. Cavern where we meet our new best friends. Cavern.
Cavern where nothing bad happens.
Cavern where nothing bad happens.
Cavern where it's a fun time for all involved.
Cavern where all of our problems are immediately solved.
Cavern where we level up.
Ooh, level up, Cavern. Cavern where we
D&D
find.
version of that one cave in Destiny where you could just shoot into the entrance and it would give you XP for no reason.
We find a deck of many things with one card left. The level up. It's the level up card.
Level up card. Where's the wish card? And we can wish turns everything back.
Hello. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm really just I have like 10 maps named Cavern, and I'm really just going through each and every single
Yeah, and we
one.
just listed them all.
Yep.
While we're
Pick
waiting,
one.
I remembered I have like cards with all my spells on them. And I remember that the cantrips, at least, the mending card is like an animated card.
Ooh.
That's sick, actually.
I love these. I always forget I have them, and then I play D&D, and I like, how am I gonna remember my spells? I gotta Google them.
Alright. And then you get vision, and you get vision. Let's bring you to the map.
Division. Do 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 do
Oh.
do.
Post. Sean, don't post. Oh, no, wait, I don't know if it's. I don't know who that is in chat.
It's Nick.
Don't post half a input shit in this chat. I don't need that in my brain again.
Cool. You I mean, yeah, you're in this little tunnel here. What do you want to do?
Let's go. Boop doo 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 doo.
Wait, we're in what tunnel? I don't see the map.
What are
Oh.
you talking about?
I just see black.
I can see.
Maybe scroll out.
Let me force you to the current view.
I see Cavern in Underdark as my
That's
map.
correct.
I just don't see any.
I've literally enforced you to the view.
vision.
I also am only seeing a black screen, even as far as I zoom out.
Okay, everyone except for Una and Septon will see a black screen right now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Septon should see...
I'm seeing a black screen. Oh! Here we are.
Yay!
Here we are. Alright, what are we doing, Una?
WandaVision. WandaVision. Sorry. He's stuck in my head now. We sneaking. Sneaky.
Make a stealth check, by the way.
Stealthy, wealthy. With advantage?
Yes.
Because invisible?
Yes.
24.
Cool.
14. I rolled super low.
Cool.
Not a good night.
I mean, you're moving quietly.
Yeah.
Feel free to continue moving forward if you'd like.
Boom. Uh-oh. I'm here.
Great.
Wanna
Yeah, you
peek.
come up to the
Wanna
corner,
peek.
and you see around the corner is a group of figures. That's the wrong button that I have pressed.
Ooh, zoom in. They sexy.
Okay. You see a group of drow. Drow women. All of them are dressed in pretty gnarly armor. Emblazoned on its chest, the symbol of a knife dripping with poison.
I
They're...
remember what that one was.
You can make a history check.
17.
Yeah, probably just from hanging out with Miralay. This is House Grex.
Good eggs.
They're a monster hunting house. And that's pretty clear, judging by the fact that one of them has just, like, a net full of heads. Various severed heads, creatures. There's a Mind Flayer head in there. There's several, like, brains. It just looks like brains in there. There's some, like, eel-looking things. And they're just dragging it along behind them. And they're all covered in various colors of viscera.
Cool.
You said the heads were
Severed.
monstrous?
Yeah, monstrous.
they-
Monstrous for the most part.
Okay, that was my question. Are there...
There's a Mind Flayer in there. There's a drow head in there.
Okay, that's not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Are they just
No, they
sitting
are.
around?
They
or...
are coming towards the tunnel.
Oh.
Okay.
In fact, as they get about here, this one up here
No.
stops.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does, and looks over towards you. Then she's gonna mumble something really quick, and you're gonna see her eyes flash. And then she narrows them and looks at you. Slowly reaches for her sword.
Greetings. I'm gonna drop invis.
Yeah, I'll drop.
The rest of them immediately draw weapons.
Greetings. No need for any of that. We're escorting a party through here. Heard some noise up ahead. We moved forward to scout it out. We mean you, no trouble, if you mean us none.
The lead drow, the one who casts see invisibility, is going to slowly pull her rapier from its sheath and say, "Then why were you sneaking up on us while invisible?"
We have to be on our guard.
This is the Underdark. You never know what'll pop out of one of these tunnels. We've already encountered multiple things that have tried to kill us.
I
No
promise
reason to.
you, if our group can avoid a fight, we will.
She doesn't look entirely convinced, and she starts approaching you. Not in a violent way, but just to sort of size you up.
Keep my hands up.
What
Yeah.
brings...
My hands are up.
What brings overdwellers like yourself here?
Traveling towards, Salos. Salos? From Zymor.
are you now? And she settles on you, Una.
Yes.
I've seen your kind before.
Oh. I have nothing to do with them. I'm very sorry for anything they've done.
I was wondering if if you knew where they went.
No.
One of them owes me a bit of a debt.
I just found out that they were down here, like, 3-4 days ago. Is that the timing?
She, more of a week, but, she narrows her eyes and scrutinizes you a little bit as though trying to suss out whether or not what you're saying is the truth. Nevertheless, we're on the lookout for an escaped slave. You wouldn't mind if we searched your caravan to make sure that you're not hiding it?
I'm gonna quick whispers back to my team, and just say, it's a group of drow soldiers. They're looking for an escaped slave. They want to check our caravan. Yes or no?
Tether will act as a you know that the talking skull in Spirited Away.
Yes.
So she'll just repeat everything Una says.
Also check in, like, with the caravan.
I pop over to the caravan and relay the information.
The Countess starts putting her neck scarf back on. But other than that, people seem... I mean, they seem not comfortable, but they don't seem too taken aback.
Alright, well, I'm gonna say, seems fine. Bring him on over.
I'll be fine.
We have nothing to hide.
Your invisibility would state otherwise.
Okay.
And then in Elven, you speak Elven something?
Definitely.
Yeah. It's going to say, follow, they might have the Illithid. You lead them back down the tunnel. They approach the caravan and pretty systematically spread out and start checking all angles of it. The lead one stands out front and sort of oversees and asks Agile Mask for paperwork, which he gladly gives. But a couple of them come through and they pretty roughly are making their way through, just throwing stuff out of the way, checking under luggage, under seats, above on the upper level, sort of touching everyone on the face to make sure that there's not an illusion happening right now, disguising tentacles. But before too long, they seem to be satisfied and report back to their leader, who says, "Very well. Take care in these caves. If this thing does set upon you, I can't say you'll fare very well."
The thing?
The slave.
It's
hungry.
Great.
I don't suppose we could share some information with you. We've been set upon by an assailant who fires arrows summoning creatures. Be on the lookout.
What sort of arrows?
Golden. Might you have run into them?
We may have. Come. And then just says, turns back to her crew and sidles around your caravan and continues onwards.
Like in the original direction we were going?
Back. So you sort of cross paths.
Well, I was hoping maybe we could have learned something there if they'd run into him, but they don't seem like the very friendly folk to share information.
They seem fine to me.
Did we ask their names? No.
No, there weren't really pleasantries exchanged.
Did one of them say come?
Said come to her followers, not to
Yeah, that wasn't to us, I didn't think.
Oh! Never mind. Bye.
Cool. Anything else you want to do before you get started again?
Just cry a little.
Just doing my daily cry.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, how long is Whispers up?
An hour.
Okay, I won't do anything annoying.
Cool. All right. Your final day of travel. You finish this day, rest up, and your final day, your final watch. You're gonna be on watch up till the point that you get to Creyes, apparently. Can I get a perception check from everybody?
$18.
24.
19.
Placid 20.
15.
Cool. Tether and turn. A little ways into your journey, as the two of you are likely walking with each other, is my guess. A brief flash in the distance in a large cavern that you find yourselves in catches your eye, and you look out toward it, but the flash, you can't tell. It's out of the corner of your eye, really, but there was a flash off in the darkness. Very, very
Flash
small.
of
Just light, colorless as far as you could tell, white.
Probably just the sunrise.
or maybe a gem in the wall.
Oh, I could go for some gems.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty ones.
I'm a bit short on cash. There's a spell I'd love to use, and I've just never been able to afford the components for it.
How much do you need?
No. Irrelevant. But if we
Why-
find some gems, I wouldn't be opposed.
I mean, can you exchange cash for gems?
Aye.
Or how much?
Depends on the gem.
Just give me a number.
1.
Only one?
1 what?
I want to know how much you needed for the spell.
Oh, I don't need anything for the spell.
You wanted to cast it. So if you were to cast it, what would you need?
1.
Taryn, can you please just tell me, please?
Heather,
please,
I'm not taking your
please,
money.
Please,
I know
please.
you don't even.
I don't have any money.
Alright, well, I know you don't even use money, but it's alright.
So just say me the number. I just want to know.
I don't know. I need a thing. I need a gilded thing, and getting something gilded is expensive, apparently.
Gold is what you gild things with.
Aye, that is correct.
So you gild with gold.
Aye, a gild with gold.
Gold guilds.
Oh,
Okay.
do we?
Can
Hold
I sneakily fish out, like in short bursts, 5,000 gold pieces?
Make a sleight of hand check at disadvantage.
What are you doing? Oh, never mind.
Disadvantage.
What's your
Deception
passive?
check in there.
What's your passive perception?
When you said I have no money.
What's my passive perception?
Yeah.
Oh, something to the tune of. Does this really not say my passive perception? Oh,
15.
What?
18.
Yeah, I mean, within the first handful of gold, you see Tether doing that.
What is Tether? What are you trying to do, Tether?
I'm putting money in your purse.
I grab my money bag, put it in my backpack, tie it extra tight, put it on my back, and I say, no, that is not, what
Not what?
I
What?
want. That's not what I want. That's alright, keep your money. This is, my own quest, if you don't mind. Excuse me, everybody else we're adventuring with. I saw a brief flash of light from that way.
Me too.
Also, Tether. It seems my guess is since the other day you told those lovely drow hunters about some crazy light assassin, and then we saw a flash of light that's probably got in the fight. That's my guess.
But weren't they headed the other direction?
Yeah.
Who knows how things work down here?
Oh,
Or like, you know, a flash of light could be like a golden arrow.
Everybody get your guard up.
yeah.
Or it could be gems on a wall. By the way, how much gold did I get into the purse?
None. He saw it immediately. He saw you.
Oh,
pull
I thought
the
you
gold
said
out.
after the first
No,
handful.
he saw you reach into your purse and try to pull a handful of gold into his purse.
Oh, then how did he know it was gold I was pulling out?
Because
If
you,
you guys-
didn't do it very well as hell.
I'm just kidding.
If you guys tell us like around where, maybe we can try to steer away from it.
Alright, sure, I point.
Observe my tactics.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you for the sub, Evan. I appreciate it.
I'll direct that to the driver.
Agile Mask is driving right now, so he says, "All right, cool." He tries to. I mean, they don't steer so much, but it's like, I'll stay vigilant over there. And he looks over, and you can see his eyes doing that thing that strange sort of like hyper focusing thing.
Ooh.
I mean, as far as I can see, there's nothing over there.
Okay.
But whatever it was could have gone
Moved.
by now.
Alright. We'll be on guard.
What do you mean it could have moved? We did not just have a full conversation after we saw it.
Anyway. Speaking of light, and he's gonna nod forward in the direction you're heading, and you can see a faint glow up ahead.
Is that the next
At
district?
the end of the tunnel!
Can we
It's
run?
not the end of the tunnel.
Damn it!
It is the next district. Kriess means District of Light.
Have we rested since the last encounter?
Yeah, you've rested several times.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just to make sure.
It's built under a patch of glare stone, so might not be daylight, but it'll be something.
Interesting.
What was the district name again? Blake?
Kriess. K-R-I''ESS. There's your apostrophe.
Is it really a fantasy elf name if there's not some apostrophes in there?
Yep.
I say as an elf with no apostrophes in his name.
But yeah, as the rest of your watch continues, you see that Kriess is it's fairly visible from a distance. As a count, this glow becomes stronger and lighter as you get closer and closer. You can see that it's coming from rocks, this weird bulbous formations with a glass-like texture that are glowing with a sort of a dim golden light from indiscernible sources beneath their surface. And this light, although it is dim, is almost a beacon in this ever-dark realm of Kavdek. And as you approach, the Arachniers hiss. Unclear as to whether it's because they don't like the light or because they're gonna die when they get there, but they don't seem entirely happy to make their way forward. But you do regardless. And as you get closer, you can start to make out some details. Kriess is a district built under the light of the Glarestone formations, and you can tell pretty quickly around a massive pit in the center of the town that leads deeper down into the Underdark. As you make your way into the town, you can see the pit and various carts and contraptions that ferry folks up and down in it, as well as the symbol of an 8-pronged pickaxe that's proudly carved on most of the machinery. Yeah, you also see a larger force of guards here, bearing the House Batila crest on the spiked shield, than you did back in Zilhind. Your guess, though the light is uncomfortable to look at for some creatures of the Underdark, it also probably serves as a bit of a beacon. So there's a much larger contingent of them here as well. There's also a larger mix of races here in Kriess. A good deal of Zerf Neblin and Duragar living amongst the Drow. Most of these denizens, however, have pallid green skin and red eyes. It seems that the light of the Glare-stone has caused these folks to evolve slightly differently than their peers, as opposed to the gray and blue and purple that you saw before. It's sort of a weird light green. In fact, Turn, you don't look terribly out of place. You've actually maybe a little bit of a darker hue than most of them, but it's Green Gang Central. Many of the folk walking around here that aren't green are wearing a strange contraption on their heads, like a visor made of dark stone that covers their eyes, sort of like Geordi LaForge from Star Trek, but just dark. You also notice that they're being sold all over the district. It's one of the main things you see being sold here. Kreis is also significantly smaller than the sprawling district of Zilheim. For the most part, it consists of 5-ish streets that concentrically circle around the pit in its center and some fringe residential areas that you sort of meandered through to get to the center of town. But as you reach the town itself, the the Arachniers sort of start to slow before finally just collapsing and crumbling to dust in front of your eyes.
Tether starts to cry.
Oh, Tether.
You can't even eat them?
No. But that ash is going to be used to grow another batch of Arachniers, so...
Like phoenixes.
Yeah, sort of like phoenixes.
Okay, I'm not crying anymore. I say out loud.
Oh, okay. And as if on cue, a small group of sort of stable hands, these male drow, come with big old dustpans and brooms and start sweeping the ash into a container. Mask is going to hop down off of the front and say, all right, I am going to go try to get us another cart to try to make this journey as smooth as possible. Silith, if you don't mind, will you be on supplies duty? And he says, not a problem. Mrs. Darth, ma'am, might want to find a safe place to hole up while we're here. She says, yes, I think you're right. And her and Sunhammer get out. They sort of form like a very protective triangle around her as they head off into town.
Very inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Sunhammer.
Revenant's gonna sort of hop out as well and turn to you guys and say, I'm gonna keep an eye on them, make sure nothing goes wrong. You know, we're my guess an inn, so if you need me, come find me. And he follows after as well. And Agile Mask is Ren Ironguard is asleep in the wagon, so he's gonna turn to you guys and say, all right, so let's try not to stay here for more than a day. I want to get going. I want to get out of this place as soon as possible. The trip after this, sure, if we can get 2 wagons with an Arachnier pulling both, it's gonna be about 5 days. It's a lot shorter, hopefully.
Is that to the next district, or is that out of here?
That's out. That's gonna get us to the spine, which is how we're getting out of here. I should probably warn you about that. It's a big old chasm, and we go up around the side. Take about a day to climb, but
I'm sure nothing will impede our way there.
I'm sure something will. But you got a day. Do whatever you need to do. Oh, it's probably going to take a while for me to get this wagon, so if you don't mind. And he pulls out the velvet box that Miralay gave him. If you could find this Sudi light climber and give it to her, that'd be great.
I think Shanti or Una should take that. Or
I'll take it.
Alright, thanks, Turn. I don't know, it's from Barrister Levin, so.
Well, nobody here has anything to do with Barrister Levin, so.
He says, okay. I'm gonna get a cart. If you need me, look for the giant dog. And he pats Windrunner on the back, and they head out. And yeah, you're free to do whatever you want.
Is Sudi Light Runner? What's the person's
Light
last name?
Climber.
Light Climber.
And you know
with
that
you.
she's a Zwerfneblin. Deep known.
I'll come with you, Turn. To
Una, you also
Alright.
remember that Kreis is the, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Cool. Alright, well, what's the plan?
I'll go with turn.
Well, if you guys have that covered, I'd like to ask around a bit to see if I can find any more information on our assailant.
I was going to say the same thing. I'd be happy to join you.
Very well.
I'll, for the little bit of time, pop up another whispers just in case things go awry.
Cool. It is the next.
So-
Yes, it is the next day at this point.
Yeah. So Shandi, we have the ear, and I'll pop it on the other 3. Come on, big money, big hours. Okay, 5 hours.
Cool.
Heather, do you want to join either of us? Or...
No, it's okay. I'll stay.
All right.
Do I have any idea where this person is, or I just know they're?
Do you know her name is Sudi Light Climber, and she's a deep gnome, and
That's all the information I have so far. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go ask around.
All right. Seems like it's time for a little detective work.
That was me putting a magnifying glass.
All right. So I would like each group to make an investigation check.
Also, Tether's actually gonna, once people go off, she's gonna go look for an armorer.
Okay.
I'm gonna start trying to go. I'll make an investigation check, but I am trying to maybe find like a tavern first.
Okay.
Some place where there's people.
I rolled a 7, so it's up to you, Septon.
Septon rolled a 19.
Okay.
Assuming he's gonna look for like a place where he can find people who like guide others through the Underdark, and then ask them like, "Hey, you seen anything?" Maybe slip them a coin or two, and
Sure. Cool. We'll get to
see
that.
anything going on.
I rolled a 7.
Great.
So,
I rolled a 9.
Okay. So Turn and Una, you're just sort of wandering through the town.
Cool.
Turn, all of the names on buildings are in Undercommon. So
What a coincidence. I don't know Undercommon.
yeah, I figured you would. So you're.
But I do know Leonin. Are there any
Why'd you take
Why
that
did you
language?
because I want you to now
Why'd you take
I
an
want-
MTG language, dude?
I want you to now write the race of lion people into your world at my behest.
There are
lion people.
There are lion people.
Captain Sheena is a lion.
No,
person.
she's a
Oh,
tabaxi.
she's at the
Oh,
back
she's
seat.
Tabaxi?
There are
Not a
Leonin.
Leonin.
They're just all in Salos.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I
Wow.
expect us to go to Salos in the near
Where we're
future.
headed.
Perfect.
You're not going to Salos, but anyway.
Hey.
Turn's going to Salos right now.
Okay.
The lion. Oh yeah, and him. He's not really a Leonin though. He's just a shifter.
Yeah, and he also really packed my pudding. So, not eager to go see him again.
I don't know. I don't know what this means. I didn't watch.
I'll be so lucky.
I didn't watch the Turn episode.
Don't know what pack my pudding means.
Oh no, that's
So-
Get my
trust me.
whiteboard out to describe the
No, that's not my question here.
Yeah, you guys are wandering aimlessly for a
Damn
while.
it. Even if we're trying to find a tavern.
Yeah, because you don't know what
Okay.
anything is called,
True.
you know?
No, I'm not gonna watch the Turn episode or read the recap. Septon wasn't there for it. He doesn't know.
I was like, I have to watch
All
it.
fucking
Eventually.
full immersion for Peter.
Yeah.
Speaking of Peter, Septon, you do find sort of it's not an information kiosk, but it's like a stable with a lot of arachnids in it, and you're like, this is probably the place where they would know. This is probably a place for people who make a living of showing people around the Underdark.
Septon's looking to schmooze. He's looking to talk about what he's seen and, mention a light crystal got busted, make conversation, and see if he can see if anybody's been beset by an archer or seen any suspicious folk out there. You
Sure.
know?
So I mean, yeah, you approach like the desk portion of this information kiosk arachnir stable wrangling center. It's sort of on the outskirts. It's on the 5th ring of town, the 5th street, I should say. And there's a green drow, an albino drow, I suppose, behind the counter. He's actually got his hair cut pretty short, which you imagine is fairly rare from Drow, from what you've seen.
We're together, right, Septon?
Yeah,
I went with you.
Shandi,
Yeah.
Shandi and Septon, you're together.
I assume the reason I rolled so low is because Shandi just got distracted by those visors for sale and was trying to score some bargains.
Do you want to buy one? They're 10 gold.
No, they turn gold.
They're 10 gold.
Oh,
not
okay.
they turn gold.
I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll buy one.
All right, 10 gold. If you put it on, you can see that the metal over the eyes is it's been hollowed out, and you can see through it. It just makes everything a lot darker.
Okay,
You got yourself a fucking unisunglass visor now.
sweet.
Is it cool?
No.
No. Like he's Septon's asking, like, Shandi, does it look cool? Can I
Well, I feel cool.
look through it real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Septon's gonna look through it. Let's decide if Septon thinks it's cool. Septon's kind of unimpressed.
I mean, like, it definitely darkens everything around you a little bit.
Septon might have bought one, but he's gonna move on. All right, the drow, right?
Yeah.
What time of day is it? Oh, I don't know, do I?
Yeah, you could ask
Hey, is
someone.
the time in this city janked up, or
Are
a
you
crystal got blown?
Are you asking the drow?
Oh yeah, actually, I'll say that. I was like, I don't suppose you have the time.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m.
4 p.m. That's good. On our way here, we passed a crystal. Got pretty beat up.
Oof. Well, they fix those things pretty quick.
Yeah, it fell out of its holster and everything.
Ow.
Bad situation. We left somebody behind to report it.
That's
but-
probably for the best.
Yeah, I was wondering, you seen anything bad out there? We had a lot of trouble.
I don't leave.
Oh,
I just run the place.
yeah, but I mean, a man like you working here, I'm sure you hear a bunch of talk.
Oh, I hear talk.
Yeah, we ran into ropers and piercers and such. And
Pretty standard fare.
that crystal, though, I tell you, good little give you a little information. I think it got sabotaged.
Oh, how so?
It was weird. We noticed it was kind of tilted. And we were like, oh, we should get it back in place. We get up there and there's these weird arrows somebody used to like prop it up. Gold arrows.
Oh,
Weird.
gold arrows. Interesting.
Yeah.
I may have seen some gold arrows come through here recently.
You saw some gold arrows come through
I
here.
may have.
I suppose if you saw some more gold come through here, you might be able to tell me a little more about that.
I think we're speaking the same language.
I'm gonna draw. Ooh, Septon doesn't have a ton of gold, does he? Something's gonna plop down like 5 gold on the table to start and be like, is that about how much gold you saw come through here? Was it
Yeah, I saw that much gold. It was with the lady. There was-
lady, you say?
Yeah, human lady.
Human lady. From the surface.
I mean, most humans are.
Human lady.
Yeah,
Did you have anybody with her? I mean, I assume
Nah.
traveling through the Underdark, you wouldn't.
She seemed to know how to handle herself. She bought some stuff in town too.
Wouldn't happen to know where.
I can't remember. But I probably could, given the
That's
right
interesting.
motivation.
So it'll pop down another like 3 gold or so.
She made a stop down by the mining depot, pick up supplies.
Mining depot, you say?
Yeah,
Interesting.
the House Dunarok mining depot.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it seems you know a good amount about mining and gold and such.
Yeah, I know a bit about gold. I'd love to know more about gold.
Unless you know more about golden arrows, that's
might-
really what my focus is here.
I mean, her. I feel like I got a good look at her face, but it's blurry all of a sudden. I don't know.
It's blurry, huh?
I remember it being real distinctive too.
Real distinctive, you say? Like are there faces on the coins? The gold coin.
Um,
Out of character.
all gold coins are different depending on where you got them.
Well, any of the ones I've got on me from like Zymor, I would assume. That's where I make my money.
It's probably got the face of the Emperor on it then.
Right, then I'll be like, it's like as distinctive as his face, you say.
Oh, I'd say more.
More? Oh, more. So like as their faces, I just hold up 4 of the Emperor.
Yeah, I'd say about that distinctive.
You don't suppose you could tell me about these distinctive qualities?
Well, if I could remember them.
Ah, so you don't remember them, I see. Well, in that case, I think I'll be heading over to the mining district. See if I can have a...
it's right on the tip of my tongue, though. Wouldn't take much for me to remember.
I'm gonna hold up like 1 more gold. Not much, you said. You said it wasn't much.
Not much. About that much.
Toss it to him.
She had a mask on. Whole top half of her face covered in a golden mask. One of her eyes glowed.
Oh. Now that is interesting.
As far as I can remember, it was the only I could see. I didn't look at her other one because it wasn't glowing, but
Eyes glowing, huh?
Hmm.
Not too common down here.
No.
Uncomfortably common in people we've run into.
That sucks.
Well, pleasure doing business with you.
Oh yeah. If you need an arachnia, if you need information, you come to Elmore.
We'll make sure to. Alright. Septon will head out and immediately turn to Shandy and be like, Shandy, I apologize. I know you don't really like that sort of behavior.
A pleasure to watch the master at work. I didn't know a word he was saying, and you just knew that he wanted money.
Yeah. No, I mean,
everything was that simple.
I'll be honest, he kind of fleeced me, took me for a little more than I wanted to, but we got the information to the mining district.
To the mining district.
Cool. Meanwhile, Tether, make...
Oh, Tether was dumb, and she was planning on gilding Turn's fake horn, and she assumed she just had it and didn't ask for Turn fake horn.
He has it.
Yeah. So I'll say she wandered off and then halfway realized.
Cool.
And
headed on back.
Well, Turn still doesn't have armor, right? He lost his armor.
Does Turn have armor?
We'd probably be able to see it.
Yeah, I'd know.
Remember,
I'm joking.
remember, you can also whisper to Una.
Turn is wearing a chain shirt at the moment.
It's less armor than he went on winter break with, but he does have armor.
Okay. What is everyone else wearing? What is their armor? Honestly,
Leather.
never mind. I'll just
Leather armor.
leather.
I think we're all wearing leather.
Can I go to a magical
Right.
item store
Yeah, I have studded
or
leather.
something like that?
You can look for one.
Yeah.
We gotta find ourselves a
Make an investigation.
a leather worker. Is there a name for that?
Leather
17.
would be the name for that.
No, but you know how
Yeah,
a
there's probably some
carpenter is a
cool,
woodworker, a
old
smith is a
English-
metal
yeah.
worker, is there a cooper makes barrels?
Google.
Is there a old-timey leather worker?
I think it's leather worker. What'd you get, Tether?
17.
You search around, you're pretty confident there's no magic item shop in Krias. In fact, you remember back to Zilhind, the enchanting as an occupation in Kovdek isn't exactly very high class. People don't really do it.
It's leather worker.
That's lame.
I know.
I was right.
You
There's
know,
a word for a person who puts on horseshoes, but there's not a word for a leather worker.
Barrett means hat maker in Old English? A Barrett. Because
Wonder if
that's my
that
mom's
comes-
maiden name.
I wonder if it comes from beret, like a mispronunciation of beret.
It's actually probably something similar to that, yeah.
Like the French word got mispronounced, they're like Barrett.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's important.
I hate everything.
The worst part is when you do this, the text shows up on screen. So like even in the VOD, these will remain.
Buy some bits.
Yeah.
But it does.
Oh,
I want it to be read out loud.
No.
I want like the voice, you know.
I set it so the voice would read it out loud. It just didn't work. So I don't know. Or are you asking me to read it out loud?
The voice would be fine.
I don't know what's
Or
happening.
you
I don't know what's
So,
happening anymore.
anyway,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty confident that there isn't anything. There's like a jewelry shop.
We did talk about gems. I'll go in.
Oh yeah. It's being run by a deep gnome, sort of deep green skin and cataract red eyes, older gentleman. So you come in, speaks to you. Do you speak Undercommon?
I do not.
In a language you don't understand.
I'll speak to him in Druidic, so it's a language he doesn't understand.
Sort of furrows his brows, and then tries,
And that,
then looks at you a little bit, and then tries Elven.
I know Elvin.
Okay, good. Yes. Welcome. How can I help you?
I'm just gonna browse.
Oh, yes, feel free.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, never mind. Wait, would I? Yes. Before I go in, I would have put on my hat.
Oh, your hat of disguise. Okay, then you
Yeah.
definitely would have tried Elven anyway, but yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna browse.
Just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you so much for having me today and being so helpful. What is there?
It's a lot of glass cases. There's a lot of onyx and opal jewelry in here, just like black and white. There's a couple of, there's no like unrefined gems anywhere, but there's a couple of like necklaces that are simple silver bands with just like a large gem on it.
When you said black and white, is there like any jewelry that have both black and white?
Yeah, definitely. There's a ring that's like, it's like two rings, but they're attached to each other. You know, those ones.
Yeah.
It's got an opal in it, and then like an onyx gem. There is a necklace where it's like just a bunch of. They start small and they get bigger as they go down. It's black on one end, white on the other, and then where it meets in the middle, it's half black, half white. It's like two different gems slotted into the same silver area. And there
Okay.
is there's a circlet band with just sort of like it's marble, but with like pretty dark veins.
Okay, that necklace, would it be like a very big, long necklace for a small person?
The size looks adjustable.
Okay, I'm gonna ask how much is the necklace and how much is one of the rings, earrings that have the gemstone dangles.
Gemstone dangles in that. Well, yes. Well, that necklace will run you about 600 gold pieces, and just a simple jangle. I mean, it depends on the gem that you're asking for. Is there a color preference or a gem you'd prefer?
Do you have any emeralds?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great.
That'll be 300 gold pieces.
That sounds very reasonable. Thank you.
Mined straight from the pit, right over there. That's why the prices are so low.
Wow, I'm sure that is beautiful.
I've never been down myself. I leave that to the miners. House Dunarok.
Okay. What else do we got here? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, is there anything topaz?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's a little topaz spider, like clasp, like a brooch.
And how much is that?
Oh, that little thing, 250.
And What's a good? Is there like a white like a lapel or maybe like
They're like
cuffling thing?
beautifully silvered beautiful cufflinks. Yeah, there's a whole there's like a velvet box, full of a bunch of different designs.
And I'll take that as well.
All of them?
Is that too much?
There's like.
Is there a limit to how much I can buy?
No. There's 7 sets. Most people don't buy that.
Oh! I was including that with what I was buying. Just one set of those.
Yes. Which set would you prefer, madam?
You said are they all just the silver?
They're all silvered, but they're different designs. There's some that are spiders. There's some that are knives. There's some that are the different symbols for the different houses are there. There's crossed blades. There's
crossblades.
Cool. Those 2 very fine craftsmanship. That's 500 gold pieces.
Of course. And so all that together would be.
Well, there was 600, 300, so that's 9.
9, yeah.
Plus the 5, that's 1,400. Plus the 250, that's 1,650 gold.
1,650 gold. Okay. Open my purse and pull out 1,660 gold.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Would you like these gift wrapped today?
Gift wrapped. Yes, please.
Great. And would you be interested in joining our rewards program?
A rewards program?
Yes.
What do you mean by this?
Are you from around here?
Unfortunately, I am not, so I probably won't.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No worries. But if you ever do find yourself in here again,
I mean, are you the owner, or would you get paid more?
I am the owner, yes.
Okay. I know some people, the rewards program, if they get enough customers, it's an incentive. So I was just double checking.
I am the owner and an operator, yes.
Okay.
No, the rewards program is for you, not for me.
No, thank you.
All right, well, I'll gift wrap these. Would you like them separately? Are they going to the same person, or?
Oh no, I'd have them gift wrapped separately. Do you have any gilded things? I was just thinking of.
Sure. I do. I believe we may. Is there anything in particular? We offer a gilding service.
You offer a gilding service. Do I have anything on me? Would I have something in my would I have like mushrooms or something in my herbalism kit?
Yeah, you got some like dried mushrooms probably.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, very well. Very well.
Yeah.
Well,
so what was that, 1,660?
50.
50.
Though you could tip him if you wanted.
I'll make it 1,670. And 1,750.
Oh, he notices that I appreciate your patronage of my fine establishment.
Well, it is a fine establishment.
Oh, you flatter me. Well, it'll just be a moment while I get this wrapped up for you.
Of course.
And he turns around and he begins very carefully wrapping all these things separately. All right, Tether and
I was just gonna I'm only here for about a day. Is there anything I should is there anything of interest I should look out for?
To be quite honest with you, there's not much to do here in Krias unless you're a miner.
Of course.
It's a great place for me to operate. I mean, this is why my first location is here. I have several other locations in the different districts, but I can get the gems at a very low price because I live here, but really, the whole town operates around the mining.
Okay. And another quick question.
Oh, yes, of course. He's rapping while you chat.
You know the regular travel of wagon pulled by, what are the things called again?
The arachnids.
Arachnids. I know I'm very close to the exit, an exit of the Underdark. Do you know if there's any way of transportation that is faster?
Well, the arachnids aren't fast per se. I'm told that people use them because they don't stop. They need no rest.
Yeah.
So all in all, it's probably the fastest way out if you're looking at total time traveled.
Okay, I was just thinking.
You could probably get some riding spiders, but they require rest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Of course. He wraps it up. Turn and Una, you're lost. You tried to find a tavern, you couldn't. It's been like 3 hours.
Alright, well, I say we stop and ask for help.
Okay.
I look around for a guard.
Yep, you see a drow in House Batila gear. She has the visor on.
Wonderful, I walk over and I say, excuse me.
Nope. Yes, what can I help you with?
We were looking for just a tavern, or a place we could stop. And we got lost. My undercommon is not great.
Ah.
Could you point us in the right direction, please?
What
Or
sort?
if you happen to know where, what was the name?
Sudi Lake Climber?
Sudi Light Climber.
Or where Sudi Light Climber is, we have a delivery.
I'm afraid I don't know Sudi Lake Climber.
Tavern it is.
Sounds like a Zerf Neblin name, so maybe she's a miner.
Oh, should we check the mines? Perhaps we can speak to a foreman or something?
It's a little dangerous down there, but she looks at your weapons. You look like you know how to handle yourselves. I could also send you in the direction of the Miners' Tavern, where they tend to go
that'd be
after
good.
a long day's work. It's
Yeah.
Flurgle's Flagon. It's down. It's down.
Flurgle's Flagon.
Flurgle's Flagon.
Flurgle's flag.
Yeah,
Those letters are really hard for my my accent.
yeah, it's a Duragar name.
Cool. Thank
It's
you.
down. It's in the first level of the pit. You can
All right.
get on one of the
Great.
lifts down there.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Yep, anytime.
Thank you very much.
Make sure not to draw
Bye-bye.
those weapons.
Oh, I can't draw. I walk away.
She look,
She sees Una's head go.
tilts her head a little bit, but doesn't acknowledge. Cool. All right, you gonna head to Flurgle's Flagon?
Flurgle's flag.
All right, you make your way over to the pit, and you find the lifts are pretty easily accessible. You get a couple of weird looks from like these real like soot covered drow and Duragar and Zverfneblin, because they haven't never seen you before, but they don't say anything. Live and let live. But you go down on one of the lifts, and you see that there's a couple different ways you could go. You could keep going down on the lifts, you could go into the tunnels, or there's like a very ramshackle structure built into the side of the pit. Like, definitely not up to any sort of code. Like the back end of it just like leaning precariously into the pit.
I stay on the lift. I want to lift all the way.
To the bottom?
You said we could stay on the lift to get to the...
Well, you're on the lift took you down to the first level of the pit, and that's where the structure is. And that's where she
And that's
said
where the tavern is.
tavern is.
I see what
I'm
you mean.
You
assuming
could just
that's
keep
the
going
tavern.
That's what I
lower.
meant. Okay,
No.
forget the lift. We're gonna Uber.
I'm
Rocks fall, the pit collapses. Turn is never seen from again.
The whole Underdark collapse. There is no more Underdark.
Now the Underdark is
well. I'm assuming that's
dark. All right. Well, that
Flagon.
looks like the place. Let's go check it out.
Cool.
all right.
As you get up to the front door, it's opened by a individual getting thrown out of it as they like hit the ground. And you hear some voices go like, "Yeah, stay out!" And then just cheering from inside.
I turn to Una and I say, "Seems like my kind of place." And I walk on in through the door.
Does it?
Yeah, you go in. You as you walk in, all these like hardened miners who are like deep in their cups all look at you, expectantly.
I say, "Don't worry, Una. I know just the thing. I have a dream. I have a dream."
Just gonna start singing.
No, that was a
Tangled reference.
tangled
Tangled
reference.
reference.
Okay. Great.
Everyone turns and looks at me.
Yeah. To be fair, they were sort of looking that direction already because they just threw a dude out. As you see, a half-orc is the one who threw that guy out, just standing there.
All right. Well, if I already have everyone's attention as I step in, I'm gonna say, Anyone know where I can find a sooty light climber?
The bartender, a Duragar with greenish skin, says, "Aye, and what do you want with young Sudi then?"
I've got a delivery.
Delivery? From who?
Oh, from who? From who?
Me
Una,
accent's
from who?
not discernible to you. Was that not clear?
It was clear. I thought you were saying someone's name at first. You were saying
no.
from who.
From
Like, who's from who? I'm from there, but I'm not from who. That's for Sudi to know. I walk on over to the tavern, and I lean on it, and I say, also, I would love a drink.
Ah!
If that could be afforded.
Now you're speaking me language, lad.
No, drop a couple coins on the table.
What variety
and
of coins?
Oh, I drop a couple gold coins, baby.
Oh, big spender, I
pat the seat next to me, and I gesture to Una.
Hey, we'll get you the best slop we have.
Oh, Una, they're getting us the best slop they have.
Yeah, and he pulls like this just murky, dark, horrible liquid out from under the bar and starts filling 2 flagons with it. For a big spender like yourself. Suri's down in the mines. She'll be back up sometime later when her shift ends. She always swings on by after a shift.
Una turns to like clink her glass with the turn.
Clink your glass.
Can I smell it first? What's it smell like?
It reeks.
Of what?
It's hard to say. It's strong fucking alcohol and like bread.
Bread liqueur. Yum yum yum.
Oof, it's not good.
I'll take a sip.
It's like
not good.
It's like the worst fermented beer you ever had. Mixed
Cool.
with like the strongest vodka you've ever had.
Oh, this reminds me of my dwarven days.
Yeah, you know what? It probably does. Oh, you live with dwarves then?
I used to.
Those namby-pamby topsiders, I imagine.
Aye, those are the ones. Alright, well, we'll just, I'll hang out here for a little while until Sudi shows up.
Cool. Anything you want to do while you're hanging other than continue to drink?
I do want to at some point, I guess, ask the I'll ask the barkeep, I guess, if he's around.
Yep.
And I say, also, do you have a smith anywhere, a smithy anywhere in town?
Aye, we've several.
Alright, one who could, I lost a couple of Mithroan axes in the back in the tunnels.
Well, you know what's better than a throwing axe?
What?
A blast pick.
What's a blast pick?
Oh, what do you think a blast pick is that? And he sort of reaches behind the bar and he pulls out a pickaxe, but the front end of it is like fitted with dynamite. But it narrows down in like a crude iron tube to like a point.
Can you throw it?
I've thrown one before.
Oh, now we're talking. Somebody give Turn a loaded blast pick.
You can pick up blast picks from the mining depot. Up at the top.
Sounds like we're on the way out. We're gonna stop at the mining depot. What do you think, Una? Get us a couple of blast picks.
Sounds good.
All right.
He keeps slinging alcohol your way. Like,
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. So I'm gonna need a con save from the both of you.
With pleasure. I rolled a 12.
12.
Oh.
Hey, you're starting to feel it.
So I'm not slurring my words.
You're not like you're not like Snow's Harbinger drunk. You're starting to feel a little fuzzy. You're getting a good buzz going. You're also sort of losing track of time a little bit. It's hard to say how long you've been here.
It's fine. I'm gonna once I start feeling a little warm and tingly inside, if the feeling's right, I'm gonna pull out my flute and do a jaunty little dance on a table as people are enjoying it.
Make a performance check.
A performance 14.
It's not bad. And they're all it's not bad, and they're all pretty drunk, so they're like, "Oh, hey!"
Nice. Other than that, I'm just going to mull about and make friends, and
Yeah.
I probably have I enjoy being around the dwarves.
Yeah, it's a lot of Duragar in here. There's like one or two male drow in here, but it's mostly Duragar and Snifnerblin. It's such a fucking hard word to say. I don't know why.
Cool.
Deep gnomes.
Well, since Turn just leaves Una at the bar, Una's gonna turn to the. Did the barkeeper tell them his name?
No, but his name's on the building.
Like Flurger?
Flurgle.
Flurgle.
Is he Flurgle? The Flurgle?
This is
The
the
Flurgle.
Flurgle. He's real heavy set. He's got all sorts of like wounds and scars that definitely didn't heal quite right. His nose is broken in several places, but he seems a jolly enough guy.
Excuse me.
Man,
You wouldn't happen to know anything about the group, the Breath of Devastation?
Breath of Devastation. I can tell you some of these sooty lads have the breath of devastation after they've been in their cups.
That was a good
Ah.
one.
You'll have to be more specific, lass.
They were a group of halflings. Last known,
Halflings.
yeah, looked like me. Hold on, let me pull up my notes from there, from date night.
How long ago were they here then, lass? Because I've only been here around 80 years, so.
Ah, of course. She pulls out her notebook. Okay. Well, they were last reported about a century ago, and then
Oh, aye.
lost.
Where,
They lived in Kovdek.
we're here.
Oh, this is Kovdek.
The whole place
Oh,
is
wait,
called
wait,
the
wait, wait,
glass.
wait, wait. No. We went over this. I'm sorry. Okay.
Did they? I mean, they got the hair, sure, but did they? Breath of Devastation, sort of a gnarly name.
Yeah.
Anything? Were they bad folk?
Undetermined. They protected the area for a bit, but
Oh, they protected it. Bunch of
in some-
halflings? More than House
Yeah.
Patila? Hey,
I'm not. Yeah. However, people did seem to go under some sorts of psychic distress.
Oh! You're talking about those spooky old houses on the southern side of the district, then?
Am I?
Why? People don't go towards them because when they go over there, their brain starts to feel a little itchy. Leave them well enough alone.
And so southern side of the district.
Oh, aye. It's real spooky over there.
Has anyone seen anything there, or it's just
Folks don't go near it. It's uncomfortable.
right? Wow. Okay. Cool. She's just gonna kind of sit there.
I'll
Thank
get you another round, lass.
Thank you.
Aye. Yeah, you're there for a while.
She's just looking at Turn, making friends, and drinking sadly by herself.
Oh,
Septon and Shandi, what are you up to?
I think we're headed towards the mining.
Mining Depot?
Mining
Yeah.
Depot?
Yeah, it's a fairly yeah.
On the way there, is it possible we'll see the dog and run into Mask?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Curious. Can I tell Mask that if he's looking for Arachneer, he's got to get him from what was his name? You just said it.
I don't know. What was his name, Peter?
I don't know. I didn't write his name down.
It's Elmore.
Elmore. I'm gonna suggest Elmore.
Oh. You talked to Elmore?
Yeah.
How many gold poorer are you after that?
More than I'd like to be, but
Yeah.
he gave us a lead on our assailant.
Well, I beat him in a drinking contest a few years ago, so I probably could get a deal out of him. Thanks.
What was that?
I think it was a siren.
I dropped something. Okay.
It really
it
sounded like a banshee scream.
I heard it, and at the same time, I dropped something really loud.
That's the spooky houses.
That's them. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Blake. Could I have quickly retcon? Could I have asked him like how far away from here?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a couple minutes south of the district, so it's like no
Southwest.
more than 10-minute walk from where you are right now.
Right. Well, Shanti, unless you have anything else, hit up the mining district.
Let's go.
I mean, mining district is a strong word. Like, Zilhind was a city. This is like a mining town. There's not a whole lot here other than the mining stuff. But,
Okay.
what's up?
I was gonna say, he literally told us, like,
The mining depot is what he said.
she went through the mining depot, that's right.
Yeah. Mining depot itself is actually a fairly nice building up on the edge of the pit. And you can see proudly carved into, like, it's like a mosaic of chromatic stones above the door of this place is this 8-pronged pickaxe. You enter on in and it's like cold in here. There's scent of perfume in the air. And you see a drow woman sitting behind a desk in this nicely furnished room. Hello, welcome to the House Dunarok Mining Depot. What can I assist you with?
Hello, curious if there was any way we could, find out some information about something you sold.
We keep extensive records.
Well, wonderful then. We encountered some, golden arrows. Curious if we could look into them. Is that a gilded arrow?
We do not sell arrows, unfortunately. We sell mining equipment, supplies, and the products that our miners gather from the mines themselves. Are you, gem distributors, perhaps? What brings you to the mining depot? Or are you looking to enlist?
I don't think we have the time to enlist at the moment.
Very well.
Well, perhaps if the arrows didn't come from here, would you be able to provide us with information about a client themselves?
Generally we try to stay confidential about high-profile distributors.
Of course.
Understandable.
That being said, there's no law in place about individuals who come to purchase materials.
We're aware of a rather memorable individual who came through here wearing rather conspicuous garb. Golden mask with a glowing eye.
Yes, she did stop by.
I assume moving in the other direction.
Well, she wanted to pick up some supplies and was rather urgent about it. She actually stopped by earlier today.
Today? Interesting.
Yes.
Well, looks like we may be able to meet our friend before we're headed out of town. I'll say to Shanti.
Oh, yes. It would be great to see our friend.
The truth is, we were a big fan of the supplies she had when we ran into her out there. I don't suppose you could show us the same package you were able to sell to her? We'd be interested in restocking.
Make persuasion check, I think.
Okay, flaccid 20.
Oh yes, of course. 3 crates of dynamite will run you about 450 gold pieces.
A little outside of our means at the moment. Pocket cash, that is. Shandy, I'd recommend we reconnect with the caravan as well as our friend and see if we can negotiate something. We will most likely come back
Great.
and
Sounds
purchase
like
that
an
from you.
excellent Plan.
Very well.
What'd you say? Wait, what?
No, it sounds like an excellent plan. Yes.
Very,
Yes.
very well. I appreciate it, and I look forward to doing business with you.
You as well.
House Rock thanks you, she says as you leave.
You too.
As soon as we're out the door, we gotta find the caravan. 3 crates of dynamite is not a good thing.
No, yes, it sounds like a trap waiting to happen.
She's in town.
She wasn't down earlier.
She was in town earlier today. That's not great either. You don't suppose she'd still be here? I mean, she's conspicuous character. If everyone's saying, I saw a gold mask and a glowing eye.
Well, we could check with the guards in the direction we'll be headed to see if they saw her leave today.
Of course, yeah. Say, we're following we have to send a scout ahead.
Assuming she's leaving, through the proper channels and not sneaking about.
True. I'm wondering if there's anywhere else we could ask around. Perhaps track her down. But we should definitely warn everyone
Absolutely.
that there's going to be an explosive situation.
So back to the caravan first, then?
Probably for the best. Actually, has it been 5 hours?
No.
In that case, am I whispered still?
Yeah, it's not been 5 hours. I mean, you're coming up on 5 hours, but it hasn't quite been.
Una.
Mid-sip. Septon's voice comes into your brain.
Yeah.
Are her thoughts slurred?
She's not that drunk.
I'm not really slurring.
Yet.
We got a description of our assailant as well as some information about some purchases she made. She bought a lot of explosives.
Ooh.
Yeah, a disturbing amount of explosives.
What's she look like?
Golden mask over the top of her face, glowing eye. Seems pretty.
Look around the bar.
No, just a bunch of rough miners in here.
Honestly, the glowing eye thing makes me wonder if we're dealing with a cryptal.
Yeah.
Would be just our luck. Although I thought we were on good terms with the cryptals.
Maybe a.
Well, we are. We don't know if the Salix people are.
It's true.
Yeah.
Didn't we get a letter from the cryptals? It was hey,
No,
big thanks.
You gotta visit.
What's his face?
That's right. We got a visit from a cryptal who was hey.
Owain was like, "Hey, thanks for returning the corpse of my student."
What was his name?
Owain.
Owain. That's right. Just wanted to let you know we're gonna head back to the caravan.
Okay, cool. We'll be. We're still waiting on. We're at a tavern right now. We're still waiting on the person.
Are
I can't remember this.
you good, Una? Are you? Is everything
No,
alright?
no. Genuinely, Chelsea just keeps forgetting this fucking name.
Oh, I thought you were RPing
Being sad.
Una being a little foggy. Una
No,
being a
well,
little...
no. Yeah, she sounds a little sad, but
Are you okay?
yeah.
Alright. Well then, I will talk to you later. Septon doesn't know how to hang up a phone call.
I mean, you
Wouldn't.
just stop
No,
Yep.
stop.
sending mental messages.
And then I'll turn to Shani and be like, do you think the glowing eye thing is a cryptal?
Thought did cross my mind, but it's hard to say at this point until we get to see her ourselves. Could ask around back at the caravan to see if there's any reason that the cryptals would be involved.
I think we should give the description of her, see if she's gonna do, if anyone recognizes it.
Familiar, yeah.
I'll be honest, I think as long as we're in the city, we're safe. Because, like, think about it. She bought a bunch of explosives. Using explosives in the city would bring way too much heat on her. I mean, that would be an attack against the drow.
True. Well, we'll hope you're right, but for now, let's make sure everybody's aware of the situation.
Alright.
Cool. Yeah, you can head back to the caravan. Tether, you're probably back at this point as well. Everything's been nicely wrapped and gift bagged.
And when we get there, it explodes.
Yeah, it's like Mission Impossible 1.
Don't
Get back
start
to the car.
We put the key into the caravan.
I keep the stuff with me. I don't give it to them.
Just put it in your bag. Crush it down a little bit.
Wait, are there? No, never mind. I was about to say, are there bags there?
They probably brought their bags with them.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. But yeah, Tether's there. Ren Ironguard is there, and that's it.
We should probably wait till we have a whole squad.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll fill in Tether since she's here.
Yeah, and you can. You don't have to talk it all out. Probably mid filling in, Revenant does show up and just sort of listens to the end of your story. It says, well, the Countess is checked into an inn under the name Rubadarth. I can go keep an eye on him. Make a little sweep of the premises, make sure I don't find any dynamite.
Probably smart. It would also be interesting to ask if they know anyone by that description.
I'll ask him.
Thank you.
Though I can't say how comfortable I am talking to Palor's devotees as I am right now, but
I mean, you want me to chat with them?
it might be for the best. I don't need to get smited while trying to protect people.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys want to talk to him later or now? Shandi, you want to do it?
The sooner the better, I would imagine.
I mean, Shandi, you're probably best with talking to, like, nobility.
Oh, you flatter me, Septon.
I mean, you're the only one who, like, did it a lot before now.
Y'all could talk to her. I still have questions about the whole monarchy thing.
Maybe it is
malarkey.
Yeah, I will speak with her.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go do a sweep so I can take you there. The rest of you, I mean, keep an eye out for dynamite, I guess. I don't know.
Nope, like that's Iron Horizons. She's not in this campaign.
All right. Revenant's gonna walk you off towards the inn. When you get there, he'll tell you the right room number. It's on the 3rd floor. Pretty tall building for this town. And he doesn't follow you. He just starts like scouring outside, but you're welcome to go if you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the room and give it a polite knock.
The door opens a crack and you can see Deviel's eye poking out. She recognizes you. She opens the door.
Hello.
What can I help you with?
I just had a couple of questions to ask. Oh.
That's a little tragic, isn't it? That one's a little tragic. There he is.
There he is. We're good.
Thank God. I think I just completely lost the internet for a second.
What can I help you with?
I just had a few questions to ask of the Countess.
Very well. Come in. Closes the door
I
behind
will
you.
enter.
And you can see the Countess dressed as Rubadarth sitting on the bed, sort of just worriedly rubbing a finger under one of her eyes.
Greetings.
Oh, welcome.
And just do like a shallow bow.
She nods her head to you.
We were collecting some information regarding our assailant, and we did manage to land a description of them. We were hoping to pass that along to you to see if they sounded familiar in any way.
That would
they
be
were
helpful.
identified. They were identified as a human woman wearing a half mask of gold with a single glowing eye.
Huh. And I suppose our suspicions have been confirmed.
So they are known to you.
Well, Salos, as grand a country as it is not without its problems, and one of the largest is a criminal organization known as the Golden Mask.
And you believe that the Golden Mask is... Well, I suppose that makes sense, given that she's wearing a golden mask.
They're mercenaries for hire, really. But I wouldn't put it past enemies of my movement to hire them. They often do work for the nobility of Salos, as disgusting as that is.
Well, if you have any information regarding them that might help us in the rest of our travels, that'd be much appreciated. We're searching for any potential traps they might have laid here, but it's likely they'll try to ambush us further on the road instead.
Very well. I wish I could help you more, but I keep my hands clean. I don't dabble in the underworld antics that my peers do. So I'm afraid I don't know anything of this Golden Mask.
That is understandable. Well, the more information we get, the better, so as little as we were able to learn here, it's still helpful.
It at least confirms our suspicions. Likely. I suppose it's possible that an assailant with a golden mask unrelated to that organization may have come after us, but I find it unlikely.
Well, perhaps I'll be able to pass this information on to Agile Mask as well. He may know something of use.
I suppose he may.
He's well-traveled.
He seems it. Frankly, without him and yourselves, I doubt we would have made it far. So I would like to extend my thanks to you and your company for your support. So far, at least.
Well, your thanks is appreciated, but it's what we're here to do.
Know that, should we make it out of this alive, you will be richly rewarded someday for your service. My estate is plentiful and my station is high. I can't openly support a Zymorian institution to create weapons for the future, but you've surpassed my expectations as far as humanity is concerned. So I'll find a way to pay you back.
Here's hoping we see the other side, then.
I have faith that Palo will guide us through.
And I guess I'll just bow again and take my leave.
She nods again.
I just realized I'm pretty sure Shandi was wearing the fucking visor that whole time.
Yeah, he probably was. She's too highbrow to have commented on it.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, you can head back. Una and Turn. Make another con save. You've been being supplied with drinks all night. You're like 2 gold coins is enough to get you like a full night's worth of this.
Oh, interesting. I actually marked 10 gold coins off my
Okay,
sheet.
so you bought drinks for you for all night as well as like everyone else in the bar.
Oh, these
12.
good old fellas. All right. Con save. Ba-da-ba. 15.
All right, Turn, you're still in that like happy buzz zone. Una, you're getting more into drunk zone. Not Snow's Harbinger, not blasted beyond your mind, but you're like you're solidly drunk at this point.
How long has it been, and has Sudi shown up yet?
It's been like, I mean, it's hard to say. You've definitely lost track of time, but it's been several hours. Whispers has worn off.
Okay.
No sign of
then
Sudi yet.
I sit back at the bar.
I've
Next.
been like propping my head up, just
Next.
staring at the door.
It's really been quite a while, hasn't it, Una?
Yeah,
You do think Sudi's coming here, right?
I really hope so.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Flargan.
Lad, my name's Flurgle. My father
Flurgle.
was Mister, and he's dead!
Oh, man. When does Sudi usually come?
Aye,
Here every minute?
time and Creus don't really see eye to eye. It's always daytime here, so probably soon, I'd imagine. I mean, people have been trickling out to go on shift, so I'd imagine another shift will be coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, alright, sounds good, thank you.
Right.
What do you call this stuff?
Swill.
Oh, that's good swell.
Aye, it's the best we've got. And at this point, the door boom whips open, and you see a deep gnome with ashen skin and bright eyes, with hair shaved quite short to her head, wearing like just the most disgusting soot-covered tank top, with just gnarly scarred wounds all over her arms. She bursts open the door and says, "Light climber in the house!" And everybody,
I missed the
I'm
hat.
gonna hit turn. Like, I think I found her.
everybody goes, "Sudi!" And she's like, "All right, boys, we gotta clear them all today." Flurgo's gonna say, "Light climber, you got some guests," and points over to the two of you. She's like,
Sudi!
"Me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, not often I get company. All right, what you buying?" As she hops up on a stool next to you.
I think you mean what have I already bought? And
He didn't. He
Flurgle,
didn't buy
on cue,
it.
Flurgle slides some swill. He's like, "Oh, the best company I've had in months. Hello.
don't you forget
Nicer
it.
than my parents, that's for sure. Woo!"
I'm Turn, this is Una. We got the box for ya. Slap
Hi.
it down on the table.
From Barrister Levin.
Ah, from Mir. All right. She pops it open, and you see inside is a large opal.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Classic Mir. You want an opal?
You don't want that
You don't
opal?
want it?
No.
Well, I mean, it's not really for me, so, Una,
Why'd she give it to you out of curiosity?
She's always trying to give me presents.
Cool.
Do you want it?
Una, you want the opal?
No, it wasn't for me, so why do I want it?
Well, I can't. I'm not gonna take it. I don't take any of her presents. You know,
Why not?
sort of thing we do, back and forth. She tries
Why
to get me
not?
something, I won't take it.
Why did she give
Well,
you
she
presents?
doesn't owe me
Why do-
anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
But why did she give you presents? Still, just out of
She feels like
curiosity.
she owes me. I saved her life a couple years ago from a cave-in. We got
Oh.
close, you know, and she's like keeps trying to pay me back for it, but come on, she doesn't need to pay me back with jewels, presents. She already paid me back, if you know what I mean. And she elbows
I know
Stern.
exactly what you mean. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Ona takes another sip.
Is that it? Is you just here to give me a present from Mir?
Aye, that's all we're here for.
Flurgle.
And for
Here you
the
go.
great swell.
And he
You call her Mir. That's cool.
it's shorter than Miralay. It's a mouthful.
It's nice. Okay.
You good, Una?
I'm fine.
This is her first swell.
Hey, no,
And I clap
it's
her on
not.
the back.
It's not. I've had an alcohol before.
Oh, she's alright.
Do you know about these spooky houses? If you know so much about everything. I'm sorry.
I see what's going on here.
That came out really wrong.
Hey,
I'm
it's fine.
sorry.
It's fine. I think I know what's going on here.
No, you don't. I don't even know. You know.
Is she alright?
Oh, she's always like this. Don't you worry.
No, I'm not. Turn.
Una, what?
I'm not always like this. You'd know that if you talk to me every once in a while.
Maybe I don't know what's going on here.
You know what? Me neither. But
Yeah,
that's alright.
That tracks for me, bud.
That's okay.
Listen,
We're
here,
good.
scoot down. Get up. Move. Switch with
Oh,
me.
alright. Oh, scoop. Beep, boop.
She sits next to you. She puts a muscular arm on your shoulder.
Oh, I'm leaning on the counter too, like this, just over the side of her.
Let me guess. Hot lawyer?
She's fine looking. She's not hot.
No, she's hot. We can all agree on that, right?
Well, we agree. Yeah.
Sweeps you off your feet, takes you on a date.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, it makes so much sense that Una's type is a lawyer. Oh my goodness.
Why does that make sense?
I don't know. I just
Why
like.
does that make sense? You don't even know me. You don't even know me.
It just feels right, you know.
don't. How do you know?
Even
I'm talking to my new friend, so.
Yeah. She tried to do the same thing to me. I said no. You know, skip all that stuff. Get to the good stuff. As a one-time thing, you know,
Right.
we almost died,
Cool.
sort of deal.
Yeah.
She wanted it to be more. I wasn't into it. That was a couple of years ago.
Hey, no hard feelings.
Feels like there's some hard feelings here right now.
No, not at all. Not at all. So these spooky houses.
You talking about the old? Yeah, I guess that, you know what, that does make sense. Looking at your hair there.
What do you know? What do you? Yeah. What do you
I don't know.
know?
Those old weird halflings used to live there. Or before my time, obviously, but yeah, nobody goes over. We don't go over there. I mean, I could take you though. Get a couple drinks of me. I'll do anything.
From turn to turn.
You want me to give her a couple of drinks?
No.
Oh, because I think I
If
paid
you
for
want
more than
to.
a couple.
If you want to. Do you like her? You could
Do I like
get her
Sudi?
some
Oh,
drinks.
she's very nice. Yeah, we're best friends already.
Ah!
Okay.
I got two new best friends. We're all best friends here. We're having a
Besties.
great time. She puts her like buff arms over your shoulders and like brings you in a little bit.
I giggle.
Turn.
This is
Turn.
cool.
Ah.
She like
I
Turn.
flips
What?
your
I'm
thing.
not forcing you to come see where my family may or may not have
Oh,
deep,
cool, let's go
dark
meet your family.
secrets. So you're fine with this?
What? Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? Sounds great.
I don't know. It seems like kind of a me thing, and I totally understand if you didn't want to get involved with it.
Oh. All right.
No, but if
I
you
don't
want,
care. Let's go.
okay.
It'll be fun.
You guys got some things you need to work out.
I like turn my
I'm
head in Sudi's
fine.
arm to like face up at her. I think she's always like this. Like this seems like a typical Tuesday night.
All right, my guest Clayhorn, you should probably talk to her more because she's saying she's not like this.
I
And she lets you go. All right, and she grabs two flagons and she just downs both of them. Just spill it all over herself. Let's go see some spooky fucking houses.
Yeah.
spooky house. Spooky house.
See you later,
spooky
Flurl.
house. See you later. I pull out my flute and I play us a jaunty little tune as we walk our way over.
And everybody's like, yeah, flute guy.
Oh god.
Yeah, you exit, you make your way up the lift, and you make your way down towards the south part of town. What you find after you sort of walk through, there's like the main part of the city, the district ends, and then there's a little bit of space, but you see like a cluster of buildings carved out of stone a little ways away. And so he says, "That's him." So I'll take you in, I guess. I've never been in there, so.
Oh, I don't know if I want to get in. Maybe like slowly approach until things get
Cool.
slightly bad, and then walk away.
She pulls out a blast pick, sort of like puts it on her shoulder.
What does slightly bad mean? Like aggressive fighting, or
Like
just
as
like
soon as anything goes wonky, askew. If you start hearing
All right.
voices in your head, turn around.
I'll follow your lead.
Cool.
All right.
So, Sudi,
Yeah.
you said there was some creepy, you said creepy halflings?
I didn't meet him. I don't know. This place
Oh.
is creepy, but they got the black and white.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought this place was weird because like nobody ever came over here, and when I tried to come over here, my brain started itching.
Oh, fun.
So I was like, well, who used to live there? And they were like, some halflings, and they had weird hair. So that's what I know.
Yeah, so weird. I'm gonna like whip around to turn. Just be like, so why aren't my parents don't have the weird hair, but they clearly came from here. So, and they can't dye it. I've tried. Doesn't work.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like I'm green, but one of my parents is yellow and one is blue, and I've never understood that. So, I think sometimes strange things like that can happen.
One of your parents is blue and the other is yellow.
Aye.
And I don't think you've ever actually seen Una laugh. You know, Turn, I think that's the one thing that makes sense about you.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
You guys are weird. I gotta get up to the surface sometime if more people are like you up there.
Oh, they're so much weirder than us.
I gotta get up to the surface sometime.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's do it. You wanna lead the way? Should I do it?
I'll lead the way.
Sick maces, by the way.
Una,
Thank you.
Una,
In like Turn's
Una.
head, I'm gonna be like, I really don't want to lead the way, but I'm gonna
I say
do
back. I say back in your head. I say,
it. You can't.
oh, I say out loud. Una, be the hero.
I'm gonna be the hero.
Alright. Sure, be the hero.
This is not how I saw this.
Yeah, Una.
Yeah, Sudi's definitely joining the cheer as you guys walk closer.
Fucking drunken night in college.
Yeah.
Dude,
Let's go to the haunted house!
let's go to the graveyard.
Let's go to the fucking graveyard!
Let's go to the fucking graveyard. Dude, what could go wrong?
Una, let's show up drunk at your parents' house.
I know. Probably, no,
Out of
well,
nowhere.
to be fair, it's not my parents' house. It's probably like, maybe great uncle.
Your uncle
But
or
they're not
something.
here
Rice
anymore.
removed.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
So the whole place is caked in dust. And as you approach, Turn, you start to. Oh, hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. No, it's a follow bot, isn't it? Oh well. Report that later. Turn, you start to feel it's not an unpleasant feeling. It's just weird. It's like somebody's just like scritching at your brain. It feels a little bit like when Una talks in your head, but like there's no words. It's just sort of like weird, itchy feeling.
Una.
what?
Well, Una, you start to hear whispers. Inaudible, the indiscernible whispers, but whispers. They begin to tug at the edges of your mind. Though you're drunk, so it's probably not as unsettling as it would have been normally.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like,
Una.
yeah, see, there's the brain itch. It's telling you.
Una, are you trying to tell me something?
Nope.
I'm picking something up. It's like right here. Oh, no, maybe it's here. No,
Yeah, no, I'm feeling that too. It's all over.
I can't. It's like I can't quite get
You gotta
the
get
spot.
your head inside your head to itch it.
Oh, you're
you know?
so right. Hold on, here I pull out my dagger.
No.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I
yeah.
thought you were gonna do it. That's.
No.
I thought you were
not
crazy
me.
enough to do that.
Put it back. turn and look at Una.
Want to keep going?
I mean,
There's probably more to discover.
yeah, let's go. I'm a hero.
All right,
You're
you
the
make it
hero
up to the front door of one of the front cluster of houses.
I'm right behind you. Don't worry.
And I'm right behind him.
I'm at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna like put my hand on it.
It's solid stone
It's a door. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a weird thing and like send a whisper out to the air.
Sure.
I don't know if that's a thing I can do, but yeah.
Yeah, you just
say-
sort of what message are you sending?
Hello.
Send
Hello.
It's gonna be a hello.
you send a hello out and into the void. Nothing happens for a moment, but then the whispering grows slightly louder and sort of as opposed to like the whisper was just sort of tugging at the edges of your consciousness, but now it's sort of like centers in front of you, briefly spikes and then fades back to gentle whispering. And the rest of you feel like a stronger sensation towards just the middle front of your head.
Hungover?
Whoa. You couldn't be hungover, you're still drinking.
Right. I don't know if that makes me feel better. Una,
It's kind of gnarly.
you getting anything?
Did you do that?
We Okay, stay back, guys. I'm gonna open the door.
Sweet. And City
How
takes a
far-
step back and like baseball stances her blast pick.
I take a step back and I look at Sudi and I say, maybe that should be plan B. Plan A should be, look.
Well, if something comes out,
Hmm.
better safe than sorry.
What if it's like a family member or something?
Nobody lives here anymore.
We just go in,
Oh.
and it's just a bunch of halflings.
Hello, how's it going?
No,
Sudi bursted. Good!
we've made some stew.
All right, well then I'll have my hand hovering over my hand axe in quick draw position.
I'm gonna open the door.
There's just a little bit of resistance at first, but you put a little muscle in it, and dust just bursts down all over it, and you look inside with your giant glasses, and you can see what looks to be a home. It's like a one-room home. Everything just caked in layers and layers of dust. The ceiling is crumbled in a corner. Though you do notice in the center of the room, there's a table made out of stone, set for a meal, as far as you can tell. There's several bowls and spoons. That's all you can make out from the doorway. There's also a door in the back leading elsewhere.
Is there like, you said set for a meal? Is there like old food on it?
There probably was, but whatever is there has gone past rotting. It's been like 100
Wow.
years, so it's like just turned to dust in the bowl. But it does look like it was left out in the middle of a meal. There's a pot on what was likely once like an iron range, but it's rusted and oxidized.
Looks like they got Thanos.
Sorta, yeah.
I'm gonna take a step in. Look around a little more.
The whispers continue, but no real much of anything. I mean, you look around and it was a small home. There's a few beds stacked sort of bunk bed style in a corner.
Can I tell if the door is just a back door or...
It looks like a back door, yeah. Just judging from the layout of this place before you went in, like, there doesn't seem like there's much more house.
Okay. Just gonna back up. And out.
Cool.
Anything, Una?
I think that's it. Or that's all I want to
The
risk my life.
the back door. Sorry, I didn't really describe this place great.
Oh.
It's like a circular collection of structures. And from just where you are right now, it looks as though a bunch of houses are surrounding sort of a courtyard in the center. Doesn't have to change your course of action, but that's sort of what you're looking at here.
Well, maybe I'll go check out the courtyard too.
Do you want us to come with, or?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll keep leading though.
We'll be right behind you.
Yep.
I'll just, yeah. It looks like they just kind of vanished. Like it looks like there was food set out and poof.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll keep an eye open.
I want to go check out the courtyard, but then we can go. Then we can leave. Thank you both for...
Yeah, this is fun.
Okay.
Aye.
Fun is... sure.
Alright.
Doot, doot, doot.
You open the door. As you do so, the whispers get a little bit louder. Not, like... You still can't really make out anything. It's just a bunch of whispered voices sort of circling your brain. And you see this courtyard. There's an entrance to all of the dozens of different houses that sort of encircle the area. And there's also a structure you couldn't see from the outside. A much smaller, shorter one in the center. There are the remains of candles all around it. And a door leading inside. It's pretty wide, but it's fairly short. Like, Turn, you could fit in it comfortably. It's just not as tall as, like, the houses around it.
Mm-hmm.
You could definitely fit through the door.
Or candles around it.
Like arranged in a little... Oh, you're saying that loud, or are you just saying that's Blake?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing it. But...
Does it look like
Yeah.
a ritual?
I mean... Does it?
It's just candles around a building. So you
Like...
just like in a
Tall
circle.
candles are, like, on the ground?
They're on the ground. They're, like, barely candle anymore, but, like, they're
Right.
definitely candle holders just sitting on the ground in a circle around it.
I'm gonna say, like, you guys stay here.
Are you sure?
I honestly don't know what to do.
I mean, we'd be happy to go in with you if you're scared. Or if you're worried.
I have a really bad feeling something really bad is gonna happen, and I would not forgive myself if I put you guys in that situation.
Oh, Una! Well, I would not forgive myself if I put you in that situation.
I don't really know you guys, but you seem cool, so I feel bad if something happened to you.
So it looks like it's 2 against 1.
Sure.
Okay. I'm
All
gonna
right.
walk towards the destruction.
Yeah, as you walk towards, the whispers do get louder.
Can I make any of them out if I really concentrate?
It's just... It doesn't even seem like they're saying words. It's just like parcel tongue into your brain.
Okay. Okay. How are your brains doing?
It's real. It's starting to... It's like static electricity all around your brain at this point.
And honestly, I feel a little bit when I had that headband on, and my brain was a big stinky
Mud.
poopy puddle.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I just feel really drunk. I didn't drink this much.
I'm gonna keep walking slowly towards it.
Cool. Yeah, you can make your way all the way up to it.
Mhm.
There's a lock on this door. Well, it's not a lock. It's a latch. You'd have to open it.
Are there any markings? It's just stone.
Stone, dark, underdark stone. This building is completely free of symbols of statues. Just the candles around it.
I will. What, can I take a closer look at this latch?
Yeah, it's an iron latch on the door. It seems a little bit rusted, but probably stuck a little bit as you touch it, but you could definitely muscle it open pretty easily.
I'll lift the latch.
And the door swings outwards.
Uh-huh.
If you want to open it.
Yes, I do.
You open it.
No.
A horrifying sight awaits you. A massive podium stands in the center of the room. Atop it, a sculpture of chaos sits. A massive stone cloud ornamented with severed limbs, blades, and skulls. Dozens of chairs have been arranged in concentric circles around the podium, and each of them sits a moldy, elven skeleton, no less than a century old, all angled to look up at the statue. This mental itch that Sudi and Turner are fearing becomes a searing pain, and Una, in your head, a chorus of horrible, tortured voices scream, "Return to him!" And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Dungeon Party.
Wow.
Cool.
I get why Una had
Good
such a
vibes.
happy couple of sessions. You really gotta, you know, gotta pump Una up.
Sorry,
before the
well, I'm
fall.
sorry I left you guys out. It.
Johnny caught in the air, just your screech.
I know.
Yeah,
but-
Shandi, should we go check in on him? Let me check. Boop.
Hangs up. Oh, they're fine.
Well, that is D&D for the week. We'll be back next
Cool.
week to pick up right from there. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for watching, as always. If
Does
you're
it change if I say as soon as Una saw that she would have turned and ran?
well, things are gonna happen. So
Yeah.
that changes nothing.
I can't wait to pick up next session with Septon and Shandi.
Yeah, just hanging.
Chilling, vibing.
Another Shandi shopping episode. We'll go back to the jeweler.
Should we check again for dynamite? Can't be too careful.
If you're not currently playing a game of Dungeons & Dragons, you should be, because you can get a priceless clay ornament broken and immediately fix it. And you can't do that in any other game. Yeah, that's D&D.